Mass Effect. Escape from a reality where you make thousands of tough decisions then die at the end anyways, to play through a franchise where you make thousands of tough decisions then die at the end anyways. Experience the gripping choose-your-own-adventure saga of all 3 Mass Effect games, each with its own unique twist. Mass Effect 1, a game with faster-than-light ships and slower-than-dirt elevators. Mass Effect 2, where the lives of your crew depend on your patience for mining. And Mass Effect 3, where everyone you've come to know and love dies. Spoilers!
Welcome to another episode of the Rolling 20s. We are the crew that signed up for the Recon Squad on Attack on Titan. Looks like a full menu tonight. I am Jeremy.
Steve. Jesse.
And me.
Remember, you can subscribe to this show and several others in the MSP library at missionstarpodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes and on Stitcher, follow us on Twitter at the Rolling 20s. You can send us any fan mail, suggestions for the show, or hate mail at mspfreight@yahoo.com. The music you heard at the beginning of the show was by Machina Supremacy. You can find most of their discography for free download at machinasupremacy.com, as well as their latest couple of albums on amazon.com. The clip you heard at the very beginning of the show was part of the Honest Game Trailers Mass Effect special. You can find their channel under screenjunkies.com. I am still losing time to Destiny.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
You know, it's one of those things where as I'm sitting there, I'm going, man, I am doing this too long. Where's the next relic iron?
Give me another chest.
I tried saying that to my wife, and all she does is slap me.
Well, Jeremy, you've been hooking to an MMO.
It's MMO-like. It's not quite there.
Oh, it's still killing in as much time.
Yeah. It's I'd say it's killing my social life, except we all know I don't have one. How are you all doing?
I'm not
I
playing
have been
Destiny.
in pain for most of the day.
You've been in pain? What happened?
Oh, I woke up with my back tweaked and it still hurts. I was standing up for 8 hours.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, fun.
Were you standing up to cancer?
Crickets.
I know, really. Apparently cancer beat him up at some point. How are you doing, V?
Oh, alright. It's a day.
It usually is. Wow. This week we decided to talk about certain characters who, if we had our druthers, we would try to rename them. Characters, teams, concepts, whatever you call it. In the meantime, we have our usual in the Kickstarter corner. We only have a couple this week. The first one we have is the Executor Lego. Thomas Benedict of Toronto, Canada, wants to put together a 13-foot, 90,000-piece Superstar Destroyer out of Legos. It's really kind of self-explanatory after that. This one actually ended 2 days ago, back on October 3rd. At the end, he had 129 backers. The goal to do this was $15,500 Canadian. His final tally was $2,420 Canadian. So I guess what the internet said is buy your own shit. I mean, this wouldn't have benefited anybody but him in the end, really. So he has to go. He has to go get his own Legos together.
Yeah. Well, he can always buy Minecraft and do it in there.
That's true.
That's cold, man. Nice. That's just mean. The only other one I have is one. It actually looks like ended not too long ago. We have the Indiegogo for Hullabaloo, steampunk animated shorts that someone was trying to put together and do a feature film.
Right.
This one, it can't really figure out when it ended. Indiegogo doesn't put end dates on a lot of their stuff. I think it ended at the beginning of the month, if I remember correctly. But it ended with 10,891 backers. The goal to start this was $80,000. I think they needed 500,000 to turn this into a feature-length DVD. They ended at $470,726. So they got through a large majority of their stretch goals. They just didn't quite get to the last one. The $500,000 stretch goal would have been a collector's edition DVD. But, considering that all this came through and they got 470, I could bet they could get a loan for that last 30 grand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're ecstatic no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at this amount of money with this kind of production, I would take the shorts and start shopping around to major studios and say, "Give me more money, I'll make more."
Yeah. Well, especially if you've proven that there is an interest in it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the video that this guy put out so far, V, but Hullabaloo looks like it'll be very interesting. It's a steampunk animated feature done by a former Disney hand-drawn animator.
I think I saw it when we introduced this.
You were gone when we introduced it.
Mm.
So that's why I had to ask if you saw.
I think I have. It sounds familiar.
Okay. Well, from there, we'll just move straight into video game news. It's been a little varied this week. Blizzard has gotten its way back into the limelight, and Blizzard is actually looking at ways to bring World of Warcraft into the center of esports.
Okay.
I know.
What?
According to Kim Fan, who's Blizzard's head of esports, quote, "I can definitely say that WoW 3 versus 3 arena right now is kind of hard to watch in the form that it is. And so there are things that we want to evaluate. They want to figure out a way to make World of Warcraft into an esport game, which they would have to add a better PvP version of it. I mean, they're having smash success right now with Hearthstone, but
That's a completely
there's the
different
problem.
game.
I know. You also have to make WoW more watchable. I mean, League of Legends, I can't sit down and watch it, but I must admit it looks kind of compelling. I'm sure it looks great to players of the game who are watching them zoom back and forth trying to ace each other.
Well, League of Legends is far more easier to look at than watching someone play on WoW.
Yeah. So he goes on to say, quote, "World of Warcraft was obviously created well before esports blew up the way it has now. It is taking a game that was out before all of this happened and then figuring out how to enhance and support it. Ideas have been brought up like Battlegrounds. People enjoy watching live raids at BlizzCon. What makes something an esport depends on what people want to see. We're taking a close look at how we can better support esports," unquote. I can already see one problem with his quote and the fact that he says people really like to watch raids at BlizzCon. That's the center of your audience. I mean, shit, dude. It's not exactly taking it to Vegas and saying, "Would you sit down and watch this for 2 hours?"
Yeah.
What was your point, Jesse?
I was gonna say, watching a live raid. I mean, it's gonna be boring one of two ways: one, absolute complete failure, or completely stomping it. It's not interesting to watch, to be honest, unless you're actually participating.
Well, I would think if they want to make this an esport, they're going to have to completely rebalance PvP, if not the entirety of the items in the game.
I'm sorry, they've been trying to rebalance PvP since the beginning because it's never been fair.
Okay. Well, that explains a lot of what's wrong with the loot system in Destiny, frankly. But that's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
Shadows of Mordor came out at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a reason why they won't call this a Lord of the Rings game, but I forget what that is. Probably because it doesn't actually have to do with the ring or the frickin' hobbits or anything like that. But that's
Some
a
sort
whole
of
other story.
licensing issue, probably.
More than likely. But it was revealed earlier this week that you'll have to pay extra if you want to fight Sauron in the game. Turns out he's paid DLC.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. So if you get a season pass or pay for the DLC, then you can actually fight Sauron in the game. You don't do that, you're just Middle-earth. Then again, if you're going to fight Sauron, isn't the ending of that already predetermined? I mean, it's not like he doesn't end up on that pike as a giant eye.
Yeah. I don't know what
So
the point would be.
Yeah. Well, if you want to fight Sauron for sure, the season pass is available for $25 on top of the cost of the game.
Yeah. Well, as long as
I've
you're only
heard
paying
it's
that
good game.
once and you don't ever have to pay it again, I guess that would be one thing.
Yeah, Shadows of Mordor was actually previewed on the train ride I took from Los Angeles to San Diego. I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. I'm not a Tolkien fan. I could play this, frankly.
Yeah, a lot of people are... Okay, so like 2 or 3 people from my work have really gotten into it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a little late because I'm already in the middle of something that's taking up a lot of my time. Ocarina of Time. Has anybody here played it?
Yes.
I don't think I have played that one now.
Okay. There's a fan project going on to remake Ocarina of Time in 2D style in the form of, or in the same kind of gameplay as A Link to the Past.
I'm not sure it's going to come off the same way.
Yeah. I don't even know why you'd want to do that necessarily.
I'm not sure myself. I don't know why someone took this up. It doesn't explain to me which group is doing this, but I have a YouTube video if you guys want to check it out. Well, at least it's not Hatsune Miku doing Anaconda again. I mean, shit.
Yeah, well, I ignored that one too, so.
Well, here it is.
Alright.
I'm having flashbacks to my Super Nintendo, frankly. It does look like they adapted the code directly from A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
It's pretty nifty, actually. I wonder if this is run on an N64 system. Okay, it looks like they're just showing off a couple things. That whole bet NPC dialogue that showed up was a little off-putting. I didn't quite know what to say.
Beta.
Oh, Beta. Okay. Is that the name of the character?
No. This is a beta version. It's a beta NPC.
Oh, okay.
It seems like they ripped off the tiles from the old Link to the Past and this.
Dude, even the stones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does it look like the screen's getting darker?
I don't know.
Looks like there's a point to this. I don't know. I'm going to stop that
Realistic
there for myself.
day-night cycle, maybe?
Oh, okay. I guess I could follow that. I just don't quite understand, is all. I have not played the game. I didn't like the 3D Zelda games myself.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, too. It just... I hate the 64's controller, so...
Oh, God, man. I still despise that thing. Well, I'm going to stop this video for myself. You know, that's... Unfortunately for me, that's something I could play. That looks cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know why he's sitting here
chasing
chasing this boulder, but whatever.
Well, 2 hackers, one from the U.S., one from Canada, have pled guilty to federal charges regarding international schemes for the infiltration of Valve, Epic, and Zombie Studios.
Whoa.
And attempted sales of counterfeit Xbox One dev kits before the console was released to the public.
Huh.
Whoa. Yeah, I think they pissed off someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. The DOJ trumpeted the guilty pleas as part of an unsealing of an indictment against 4 alleged hackers. 4 men are supposed to have operated in concert with an Australian hacker named Superday. He claims to have hacked the gaming companies and others. So, let me see. All this stretches back to January of 2011, according to the Department of Justice.
Oh, wow.
Everything from the theft of Gears of War 3 nearly a year before its official release, and efforts to sell counterfeit pre-release Xbox One kits on eBay for $5,000. It's a 65-page indictment.
Wow.
Holy crap, man.
They've been watching those guys for a while.
They have a lot to say, don't they?
They made sure they waited until they had enough rope to hang themselves, that's for sure. There was one story on Kotaku that was kind of weird because it lists Mario Kart 8's online multiplayer as getting lonelier. He did some matchmaking to enter a race, and only about 3 or 4 other people were in his average races. And I think they hold up to either 8 or 12 racers, if I remember correctly. He thinks that Mario Kart 8 may be suffering because of broad commercial and cultural shifts that take place every fall when new games come out. This is according to Yannick Dejak on Kotaku. I don't know. You guys, I've known, have been regular, I don't want to say connoisseurs, but at least I've seen you guys play a lot of Smash Brothers and Mario games. Is anybody playing 8?
No, I don't think so.
Not I.
Wow, nobody in my circle is playing it. Maybe that's part of the problem. Well, the director of Kingdom Hearts 3, Tetsuya Nomura, he is not happy.
About?
It sounds like he left his position as director of Final Fantasy 15 after being replaced.
Ooh. That's really not happy.
Yeah. Game developers often get kind of an inflated ego in Japan because it's one of the tentpole industries of the country.
Yeah.
Well, Nomura had the position to do Nomura's held a lot of Square Enix's artistic choices for almost 20 frickin' years. And he left a message to fans of Kingdom Hearts, found in the Kingdom Hearts Memorial Ultimania Guidebook. And it says, quote, if I had to pick, I'm a person more on the dark side, like Xehanort and company. I harness the burning anger in my heart into what I create. Kingdom Hearts 3's current development explodes very much in this sense. Each time it's a battle with Sora and company, who are the exact opposite of myself. It's been over 10 years, and yet we haven't reached a conclusion. This battle will surely last longer. In Kingdom Hearts 3 as well, I am scheming many challenges that Sora and his friends must overcome because I myself cannot lose either. And in preparation for the great battle that lies ahead, we have this one book that looks back on their entire journey. When I think about it, I had an explosive mindset when I made the first Kingdom Hearts as well. Thus, when I look back at the material, I feel that ever again, fans who will continue this journey so far alongside Sora and his friends will also recall their own feverish enthusiasm. With that passion, we will not lose to darkness, and Sora's journey will continue onwards. The journey still continues, but I would be overjoyed if you stuck with us until the very end. Unquote. Holy shit, dude. I've seen less complicated apologies for sexual assault. I mean, it sounds like he put a lot into this, but he really didn't like being replaced. It sounds like, though, he almost needed to be replaced. He was getting a little bit preachy there.
Sounds like it, but I don't exactly pay attention to...
Yeah, I'm not exactly... It's like, oh, it was developed by this company. Well, they made a couple of good games, so I'll try this one out. That's about as far as I think about the developers.
Yeah.
They are not super rock stars or anything like that. I don't care. Make a good game, damn it. I'll play it. I'll pay you money.
Well, there is a game that has the new Guinness World Record for crowdfunding.
Which one?
Are you familiar? Star Citizen.
Oh,
yeah.
Good lord, that game.
I helped fund that.
Yeah, the creator of this game also made a classic Starfaring games like Wing Commander.
Oh, wow.
But Star Citizen, since kicking off a Kickstarter campaign nearly 2 years ago, has raised more than $55 million for his projects.
Good lord.
It's not only the largest crowdfunding game of all time, according to Yahoo News, it's the largest amount raised for any sort of crowdfunding project. You know what the game's initial goal was?
1 million?
50,000?
500,000.
Yeah.
According to according to Chris Roberts, who's the maker of the game, quote, sometimes I get asked, why continue to raise money? Haven't you already raised enough to make the game? The answer is that Star Citizen isn't a normal game. It's not being developed like a normal game, and it's not being funded like a normal game. Unquote. He said further on, quote, if we had raised the original amount and no more, we wouldn't be able to continually upgrade the game with new features. Our ability to iterate an arena commander, to try different flight or targeting schemes, or add new game modes that are the best beds for future persistent universe gameplay is all due to our increased funding, unquote. That and it's solid gold jet. I'm not familiar with Star Citizen myself. Wing Commander, very familiar with. So I know he can make quality games, and he can also make Mark Hamill turn in some really weird performances. Another big surprise in video game news was that it looked like Disney killed a Star Wars game before it really got started.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Is that the one with the bounty hunter?
I don't know. It says Tiny Death Star and Star Wars Assault Team. Star Wars Assault Team was one of those online card battling apps.
Oh.
The former was a Star Wars reskin of Nimblebit's Darth Sidiously Tiny Tower.
Sounds like a tower defense.
So that's what I'm guessing. So it sounds like they smacked these down before they ever got out.
Yeah. I don't feel like that's news.
Well, I don't know which company was putting this out. I think it was with Pocket Gamer. Oh, no, Nimblebit was the one making the games. Disney stopped them, and according to a statement by the head of Nimblebit, Ian Marsh, his company is going to be okay. He's not going to lose too much by the stoppage of these games.
That's good. Although I've never heard of that company.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Last bit of video game news I have was nearly a WTF. We've discussed the game series before, Fatal Frame. It's a Japanese games, usually on Nintendo systems or on PlayStation, revolving around usually young girls going through horror movie scenarios, and the only way they can see ghosts attacking them are via cameras.
Yeah.
Like old cameras. Some images have been released on the latest Fatal Frame, which I think is 5. And Type B fans are starting to really irritate me. Let alone Type B game makers.
Type B?
I can't really... Yeah, Type A's are... they're ones who eschew story. You know, they want a good story. They want character development. At least that's the way it's been explained to me.
Uh-huh.
Type B's are ones who get lost in visuals. They prefer things to be cute. Story's not really as important to them. The game seems to really be marketing itself directly to Type Bs, and I'm going to guess it was made by Type Bs. I sent you guys a link because a lot of the images are not things young girls would ever wear in any scenario I could think of in this game. I mean, there's a lot of like butt cleavage showing lingerie. It seems like they're wandering around the forest in a scarf and white panties and little else.
Yeah, that's...
Knee-high boots for some reason.
We're not getting that.
I don't understand this at all, frankly.
There's a link for mature content.
Yeah, that's the website. There's no nudity here, but it is very, very frickin' bizarre. At least as far as my sensibilities, because the ambience of the game looks very good. It looked creepy as all piss. But then stuck in the middle of it appears to be a 15-year-old in something out of Victoria's Secret. Actually, no. Victoria's Secret has some more classy stuff. This looks more like Fredericks of Hollywood. So I don't know where the game makers are going with this. It's really weird.
Not to a great place.
V, what would you do if you came home and Keith was playing this?
I would be surprised, because that's not really his style of game.
I like that that's your thought process. It almost sounds like you're sitting down. Oh my god, I wear sluttier shit than that. Turn this off.
I'm having difficulty with the first part, so I can't get past the first part to see what I would probably have some form of negative reaction. I'm not certain what it would be.
Okay.
Because I can see somebody playing a game and being like, I don't really like, these other things, but the gameplay is really fun.
All right. Well, we will bounce into Marvel media news from there. First report's kind of a doozy, simply because we've been talking about how Joaquin Phoenix was in close negotiation to play Doctor Strange for the Marvel movie.
Uh-huh.
And those negotiations have ended. Joaquin Phoenix has apparently turned down the role.
Oh.
There's no new frontrunner for the role either.
Benedict Cumberbatch? Or Cumberbatch?
He was one of the rumors.
He
was one of the rumors along with Jared Leto and Tom Hardy for likely people to play Stephen Strange. So it looks like Marvel may have to start over from square one. And this one's kind of important since this would be one of the first movies in the third phase behind Ant-Man. We're going to have to get going on this pretty soon.
How creepy is Doctor Strange supposed to be?
Not at all, really. He's pretty suave in general.
Oh, okay.
So this places he goes to can be kind of strange.
And the enemies he fights are, yeah.
Yeah, a little backstory for you. Doctor Strange is a sorcerer supreme, like the top magician in the Marvel universe.
Uh-huh.
And when I say magician, I don't mean stage show. I mean, like, actual sorcerer.
Right.
He started out as a surgeon who was a very high and mighty individual, very haughty. He was in an accident of some sort, and both of his hands were shattered, so he couldn't perform surgery anymore. He ended up just kind of wandering the world, and he ended up in the care of something called the Ancient One, who taught him magics.
Okay.
Basically repurposed his life. And then from there, he came into possession of what he calls the Eye of Agamotto. It's kind of the most powerful magical artifact that I've heard of in the Marvel Universe. And he became Sorcerer Supreme. He has his own man learning magic with him called Wong, who's also his houseman, and that's about it. So, you don't need somebody to be, like, inherently weird. It doesn't have to be Johnny Depp to play this.
I was actually thinking Elijah Wood in my head.
Might actually do okay. He's got some nice eyes, but he gets a little weird sometimes.
Exactly. But he can also be charming, so...
Well, Jeremy Renner has been mentioned before as having some kind of major role in Captain America 3. The early word was that Hawkeye's supposed to play some kind of major part in it. Problem is, nobody's told Jeremy Renner yet. The Daily Beast interviewed him and asked him about the rumors that he was supposed to be in Cap 3, and his quote was, quote, "I don't know what's going to happen. I know it's going to start shooting in March. I haven't had any official conversations about doing it or not," unquote.
Oh my. He might not
Hawkeye's role is so secret, he doesn't even know it.
He might not have a big role. He might not have a big role. It could be important but small.
Maybe, but I mean, the Black Widow had such an important role in the second one, and it elevated her profile again. I would think that you kind of need to put Hawkeye in there.
Fair.
Because as fun as a character is, it's going to be hard to float an entire movie of a guy jumping around with arrows.
Arrow did it for season 2.
I was going to go there.
I would argue. Yeah, I would argue he didn't really do it.
But that's true. He spent most of his time taking his shirt off for the camera.
There we go.
And I was
See,
okay with that.
Yeah, Renner can do that, but that wouldn't make me pay for a movie. Speaking of minor characters in Avengers, Adrian Palicki, the lady playing Bobby Morse in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., in an upcoming episode, she seems to have lofty ambitions for her character part. She said in a recent interview with IGN, she said, quote, "That was one of the things that was discussed when I was coming on the part. Somebody asked her about the likelihood of Mockingbird going to be in an Avengers movie. And she goes on to say, quote, we'll see what happens. It's such a nice world that we live in that crossovers can happen every now and again, which in the past it never really did. So to see those two worlds come together on the small screen and the big screen is really cool." Unquote.
That reminds me, I haven't watched this week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Neither have I. But I did see the one before it.
Yeah, me too.
You're only 8 days behind. Steve, how far are you in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I watched it on Saturday.
Congratulations. What have you thought so far?
This season looks like it's going to be one of those up and down seasons.
Yeah. Well, the third episode certainly looked like it's going to put a down on it.
Yeah.
You saw that promo?
Uh-huh.
You saw the 2-minute clip that was released?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. 20 questions?
I'm seriously hoping that she kind of did that for revenge.
We'll see.
She's playing double agent, but yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
We'll see.
Stop with the teasers.
Right now, V and Jesse are what the fuck are you talking about?
Stop with the teasers.
Okay. Is anybody going to be ordering the Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray or DVD releases?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Makes
I
sense.
should get a copy of it.
Yeah, James Gunn was talking about it recently. And apparently, on Guardians of the Galaxy, in the special features track of it, there is some kind of preview scene of Age of Ultron stuck on there.
Oh, damn.
Oh, nice. They're doing the Firefly stunts.
They have not said whether this is a new scene or if this was the footage that was aired during San Diego Comic-Con. But Gunn himself, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, has said that there is something of Age of Ultron on the disc.
Hmm.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Amazon is going, where are all these people coming from? What's happening?
No, they're looking at the page going, money, 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 money.
Cha-ching.
Further Marvel media news, we found out that Agent Carter has another returning character coming for her mid-season show. Dominic Cooper is re-signed to reprise his role from the first Captain America movie as Howard Stark.
Ooh, nice.
Cool.
So it sounds like they got most of the cast together. All you need to do now is ask Tommy Lee Jones if he's busy, frankly. Which we know he probably isn't. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is also doubling down on the Ward family.
Ward?
Ooh.
Yeah, Tim DeKay. He's being signed on to the show to play Senator Christian Ward. He's going to play Agent Ward's older brother, the one that was seen in flashbacks torturing him.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice. Tim DeKay is great. He's on another show called White Collar. Yeah.
He's the FBI agent. Well, it's also been mentioned the same story that we'll see more of Grant Ward in the next episode, having a new conversation with Skye, and he does mention his brother during that conversation. He explains that he was never loyal to Hydra. Quote, I was loyal to Garrett.
That's true. He hasn't managed to get those words out in that sequence yet.
So he also tries to talk to her again about her father, and she shuts him up.
Yeah.
So there you go. Fox has put out a new statement regarding the Deadpool movie. Fortunately, it's not more about trying to make it PG-13. I really hope they stop fucking doing that.
Yeah.
But they have said that the Deadpool movie will connect to their larger X-Men universe of movies.
That actually scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess I would ask where that connection is. Is that connection First Class, or is that stupid X-Men Origins movie again?
Oh. No.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah, but I hope with Days of Future Past, they kind of erase all the other previous movies.
Could have. I still have a theory about an X-Force film that I know they're working on. It's probably not correct, but I have a theory that I thought was interesting. I think I explained that to you guys, didn't I?
I don't recall.
Yeah, I think I remember a little bit.
Well, if you remember towards the ends of Days of Futures Past, Mystique, for some reason, pretended to be William Stryker and helped get Wolverine out.
Yeah, I remember that.
And some people on message boards were just screaming, why would Mystique hand over a mutant to Weapon X? It makes no sense, blah, blah, frickin' blah. And I looked at that, and I didn't think that she handed over to Weapon X. I looked at that and just said, oh, shit, this could be the start of X-Force. Mystique finding another mutant who's willing to go to places that other people won't, just for the sake of keeping their race safe.
Right.
Find a few more like-minded individuals, and all of a sudden you got a group of heroic marauders.
Oh, then he's got to find Victor Creed in there somewhere.
Said heroic marauders.
It's X-Force.
I know, and X-Force had Cannonball on it, too.
Cannonball, Sunspot, Boom Boom,
yeah.
Shatterstar.
Although they can't have Warpath, unfortunately, the way they've written these movies out.
Yeah.
Or Bishop.
Bishop is a time traveler anyway, so does that matter?
He's only a time traveler via other means, technologically, usually. In the movies, they didn't portray him as actively jumping through time. He was just the one that kept getting sent through it. But speaking of the X-Men movies, last bit of Marvel media news I have, X-Men Apocalypse is going to shift focus slightly. The first two movies in this trilogy that they put together, and they have apparently said it's going to be a trilogy, focus a lot on Professor X and Magneto as the driving forces of the different ends of the mutant race relations.
Okay.
Well, according to a recent release, X-Men Apocalypse is going to focus on two other players on both sides of this debate. Beast on one end and Mystique on the other.
Huh.
Interesting.
Simon Kinberg, who co-wrote and produced the X-Men movies, said, quote, "The relationship between Beast and Mystique is a really interesting one that we didn't have a lot of time to explore in Days of Futures Past. So we'll have an opportunity to do more of that in Apocalypse," unquote.
I find that amusing simply because of the actor and actress's relationship.
Wait, they're together?
Off screen. They were, and now they're not. And then they were, and now they're not.
That almost sounds like you're saying, just fuck already.
Yeah.
I want to see blue on screen.
No, I find it amusing. It's somewhat... They're talking about a relationship between the two characters on screen, and yet their relationship off the screen is...
Yeah.
Well, it could be worse. One of them could be Jennifer Stewart. Or Kristen Stewart.
Kristen
whatever the
Stewart?
zombie's name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving on to DC media news. Has anyone watched Gotham thus far?
Nope.
I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Okay, well, there's a full season trailer. You know, things are supposed to happen throughout the season. It's a 2-minute video. Do we want it?
Sure.
Sure.
Man, you guys are adventurous. There it is.
Please, Mr. Gordon, just let me live. I'll do
DC.
whatever you
Yeah,
say.
we know who does this. Thank you. That must have been loud, man. That can cause tinnitus.
I spoke with your man Cobblepot before he died. Told me you say I'm
that the
old
Penguin?
and soft and ready to be taken out.
Yeah.
I would never, ever say that. I am going to kill that old man with my bare hands and my teeth.
I told you there's a war
Who
coming.
kills a man with her
So many
teeth?
deaths. So many.
Oh.
Trust him.
You have the guy with the marks, Victor Zaz, I see.
Yes.
Wow. We brought him in.
Zaz.
Eh.
If you never get to wreak revenge.
I don't want revenge. I want to understand how Gotham works.
I thought we were done talking about this. We're done talking about this when the person who actually...
Man, a lot of dialogue here.
...the Wayne is in jail. Let it go. Or what? Am I gonna be the next person taken out to the pier to get a bullet in the head?
Ever since the Waynes were killed, the city has gone crazy.
Crazy's bad for business.
The city's sick.
Did a guy just
Sick
punch a
in way
woman?
I hadn't realized.
The lamb
Yep.
always gets into heaven. I make sure of that.
Isn't that supposed to be bullets?
Yeah, I think so. I think I saw the Scarecrow.
Yep, there he
There's
is.
someone wearing a scarecrow mask.
You're talking about Arkham.
Keep your eyes open.
The largest major undeveloped district in the city of Gotham, Arkham. What about the old asylum, Mayor? Torn down. This is a vision for the future of our
Yeah,
city.
like they're actually going to tear down Arkham Asylum in a Gotham prequel story. Okay,
Maroney.
we'll buy that.
He's the only one strong enough to oppose Falcone.
Well, that makes me think that guy's gonna die.
I don't know about die, but he'll probably be proven wrong.
I'm gonna do what's right. You're beginning to irritate me. I need you to get out right now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victor Zaz.
I'm starting to think that the Penguin's gonna take over Fish Mooney's business.
There are 50 cops in here.
Oh, penguins eat fish.
Yeah. That's one of the things like it makes sense,
Yeah.
given what we already know about the character.
I thought we were friends. RV.
Oh, there's all kinds.
I'm not enthused about this based on this trailer.
You know, I guess I'm the only one that watched any of it, and I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, God, here comes the rant against DC and shit." The problem with the show isn't that it's DC. I can enjoy some DC media. Some of it's been rather good. The problem I have with the show is that it's so... It seems like it's directed and written by people who don't actually read comic books. They just kind of assume that you you need some kind of melodramatic theme visuals or something.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely, the melodrama is what's turning me off.
Well, it's like the guy playing the Penguin. Everyone refers to him as Penguin as this kind of mean name. So I don't know why you would have this character pick up the name later on if this is the way you're writing it. Number one, it seems to set him off into killing people. Number two, he doesn't really look that much like any version of the Penguin I've ever seen. Not a horrible thing, but I'm having trouble making connections in my head.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we got is the long nose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's even kind of weaselly. He's not even as confident as I'm used to the Penguin being. I saw the character that's supposed to be Poison Ivy, a young girl named Ivy Pepper, and there's really no connection there other than name recognition. Red hair. I've seen the lady that's Selena Kyle in a couple episodes, and she's been okay. Probably the more interesting character in the series thus far, but she doesn't speak a whole lot.
Well, I'm just kind of confused why she's so much older.
I'm wondering that myself.
I mean, she should be some young street thief if we're going by, you know. Otherwise, I guess Bruce Wayne is really into.
Well, she's a young street thief of about 14, it looks like, and Wayne looks to be around 12. They're not that far apart.
She doesn't look 14.
You should see her talk. She may just be tall for her age, but she's definitely bigger than he is.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's the single image that I had made her look a lot older. When I actually see her in motion, she looks a lot younger.
Well, it's just the dialogue really, really frickin' hurts me in this show. I mean, after Bruce Wayne saw his parents murdered, he's sitting on the stoop. You know, Jim Gordon's trying to talk to him, and at one point he's trying to console him, and he says, "Remember, Bruce, after darkness, there will always be light." And I'm staring at that, just going, "Fucking Avatar now? What the hell just happened here?" And then Jada Pinkett Smith. She's been kind of over the top in this show so far. And at one point, you know, the crime boss comes in, kind of gives her a message by beating up one of her favorite guys, and she's sitting there lamenting it. You may have heard in the trailer. Well, she says, "I will kill that old man with my fists and my teeth, or with my bare hands and my teeth." And I'm sitting there going, "The teeth really necessary?"
Yeah.
You know, this lithe little woman killing you with her bare hands is kind of a vicious enough thing. Then you add the teeth, and it just takes this left-hand turn where you're going...
If she's supposed to be the boss of this organization, she has to be over the top.
She's the boss of one part of it. She runs the theater district. Like, the theater district has its own group of organized crime under the central boss of the city.
On the other hand, she runs the theater district.
I know. When you're running the theater district via gang, all I can imagine is a bunch of guys in suits walking down the street, snapping in unison. So, I may continue watching like another episode or two to see if it improves. You know, like some shows don't find their stride till the 4th, 5th episode, when they kind of work out the bumps and characters start getting established. But the dialogue is killing me. However, Gotham has cast Harvey Dent in this show.
Oh,
he should be like
there.
8.
No,
you think so? It's going to be Nicholas D'Agostino. The actor is 34 years old.
Wow, what age is he playing?
Okay.
I don't know what age he's playing, but you're right, V. If this is going to be a Batman prequel, he should be approximately Bruce's age. They turn out to be best friends towards the latter parts of their lives.
Right.
So there's a problem here.
Yeah.
I'm not liking the liberals they're taking with age so far.
You mean liberties?
Liberties.
You said you didn't like the liberals. It makes it sound like down with Democrats. I hate you all. You're ruining the show. Cancel Obama.
I swear I meant liberties. I just said the wrong word.
Okay. I know you're from Texas and all, but you know. Further DC media news, there are hints that Wally West will be joining the cast of The Flash as a character. Hints.
Okay.
You know, it's more likely since the character itself seems to be introduced with powers coming soon in the new 52 comics.
Oh.
It's a black teen this time instead of a white one, though. It seems like the West family in the new 52 is taking kind of a genetic shift.
That's fine. I guess.
I
Okay.
wouldn't say I have a problem with it. It's just, it is what it is. That's all. Some people kind of got upset when they found out that the head of the West family in The Flash was going to be an actor from Law & Order, this prominent black actor, and they just said, that doesn't seem right. All of a sudden, it's like, guess what? They're all like that.
Well, they seem to go, ape shit crazy when you put pants on Wonder Woman. So,
right?
What do you expect?
Well, everybody knows you only fight better when you're in Stars and Stripes bikinis. There's also new pictures have been released from the set of Batman v Superman. They appear to be anti-Superman protesters. They're holding up signs that say "Return to Sender," and "Thanks for the help." Oh my God! Somebody stole my fucking joke.
Sounds like they really are digging into the whole Dark Knight storyline.
Yeah, pretty much. Batman is getting his own stamp.
Is what?
Batman's
Did
getting
you say stamp?
Yeah, a postal service stamp. He's getting it in time for the New York Comic Con and his own 75th anniversary.
Huh.
So there's going to be Batman postage stamps coming out. They're coming October 9th, actually.
Cool.
That'll be a collector for somebody, and they're forever stamps too.
Oh, nice.
What does that mean?
They'll be around
That's almost kind of bad in a way, because if they were, oh yeah, it's a 29-cent stamp, and they're now, stamps are now, whatever they are, then you can't really use it on accident. But if it's a forever stamp, it's kind of like, no!
I'm sorry, I just heard you said Batman stamp, and you said, and they're forever stamp, so it's Batman Forever? I know, that was a horrible movie.
Actually, I'll give you props there. That was pretty good. I like that, actually. Let's see. From there, we'll move into general media news, where we talk about the items that that fall into nerdy interest, but don't quite fall into the Marvel and DC groups. One of the producers for Star Wars Rebels has already left the show.
Really?
There was 3 of them. Greg Weisman was one of them, and he confirmed to Newsarama that he's leaving the show after the first season. And that was after the show.
Differences, or he just found something else he wants to do, or
he didn't give a statement, which makes it even more curious, because he left just after it was announced that Rebels not only opened okay, but is already getting season 2. So he's leaving a lucrative show.
Which show is this again?
Star Wars Rebels is a new animated show that focuses on the period between the end of the prequel trilogy and the beginning of Star Wars A New Hope.
Oh, okay.
It's the formation of what becomes the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
That's disappointing that he left, because he does really good storytelling.
Yeah, it's a real curiosity as to what in the world is going on here. Star Wars 7, there seems to be more rumors coming out than actual
data,
than actual verified news. But, keep all this with a grain of salt, because it's all rumors so far. Some of it seems to be true with the lightsaber and people looking for Luke Skywalker, but we're not...
Sorry.
What?
That premise for the movie seems so weak. Not weak, but it's so way out there.
All right. Okay. The latest Star Wars rumor that I have heard, and I've heard this from a couple of different areas, is that Luke Skywalker may not be the central hero of the new trilogy. He may be its central villain.
Interesting.
Okay.
I like that better than many things I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
Right. He may have become the new Sith Lord, basically.
Well, no shit. He was trained for, 2 months?
Roughly. And then he lost his hand to his dad. Pitching is impossible now. Yeah, I don't know how to take that, frankly, because as much as it's a believable character turn, and Hamill's very good at villains. Anybody that's heard his work as a Joker can verify that, all the live long day.
Yeah.
I would just like to see that if we're going to finish out his role in these movies, that they don't finish him out as Darth Vader 2.0.
Yeah, I don't want to see the exact same story that we had with Anakin Skywalker, to be sure.
Yeah. And also, wouldn't that be wicked that these kids come up and have to defeat him with his own lightsaber, just like Luke found his father's lightsaber via Obi-Wan Kenobi, we would be doing like Star Wars 2.0.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a point in the books where Luke got taken in by the Emperor's clone and turned evil for a while. Yeah. They had to get him back. Yeah. So if it's something similar to that, that would be far more believable than just all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's evil now.
You know, that's actually a rumor I read but nearly forgot about, was that the Emperor Palpatine is supposed to be back in this trilogy somehow.
Mm.
So hopefully they're not lifting that entire story for this movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, they've already got cloning technology. It's not too much of a stretch in that respect.
I know. I wish I was as much of a fan as you guys are, because I would like to talk to you about this on a more even keel, but the universe has never held my attention for longer than the 2 hours it takes to watch a movie.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but I do know a good deal about the universe. And I've read a number of the expanded universe stuff.
Well, speaking of strange movies, how would you like to watch a movie about Tetris?
I'd watch it.
You gonna have Russian music?
No, actually, it's gonna feature thrash metal. I'm kidding, I don't know. Threshold Entertainment, they're the ones responsible for putting together the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. They're going back to the well, and they have officially signed Tetris the movie. They say it's going to be a, quote, epic sci-fi adventure, unquote.
I would watch
Isn't that what they always say? It's going to be epic blah adventure, blah movie?
Yeah. I expect to see a bunch of people getting crushed by blocks.
What, I expect to Donkey Kong standing at the top of the building, just chucking stuff off the side, going da 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 da.
Where's the long piece? Where's the long piece?
I expect to see the History of Russia Part 2.
You think the blocks signified Nazis in the sniper battles in World War II?
No, have you not seen that? There's a YouTube video that's it's the History of Russia sung to the Tetris theme. It's wonderful. God, no. It's a great song. I love it. I listen to it like frequently.
Wow.
I'd sing it if my mic was higher quality.
Still need to have you sing something for the show. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, IO9 put out a list of what they consider to be the 100 best episodes of Star Trek of all time. Crossing all shows. I don't have time to do this.
Top 5.
Top 5 or top 5? Okay. I was going to say top 5 or top 10.
Let's go with 5.
Actually, let me do 10, because 10 has a lot of I'm sure you guys will recognize.
Okay.
Number 10, believe it or not, was an original series episode, Mirror Mirror.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mirror Universe.
Yeah, the one where they met their heel versions that all had goatees.
Mm-hmm.
Including Lieutenant Uhura, which was really strange for some reason. Episode number 9 on this list of the best Star Trek episodes of all time was All Good Things, the end of Star Trek The Next Generation, the 3-part episode.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I did.
Was it 3-part or 2-part? No, it was 3-part.
I remember watching that in junior high, in class.
I sat down and watched that in high school, and I was wrapped for 3 hours, man.
Yeah.
Especially the brand new Enterprise.
The retrofitted?
The retrofitted?
No, not retrofitted. The Dreadnought class.
Yeah.
That they had in there.
Oh, okay.
Because
I thought the Enterprise was still running.
In the future.
It wasn't.
It was the future version.
Oh.
No, that was a retrofit.
Yeah, that was a retrofit. Riker wouldn't let it go.
Well,
they put a third nacelle on it and a cannon underneath.
They actually made a toy.
Oh no, that's apparently. Right. No, it wasn't Dreadnought class. It was Galaxy class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Galaxy. Okay. Episode number 8 on this list was also from the TNG. It was The Inner Light.
Yep, that's a great one.
Don't call that one.
That's the one where there's a probe that hits the ship, and then Picard is sent to this planet.
Starts acting out all.
No. Where Picard lives out his life on this planet, and it turns out that they had been, and they had been annihilated, but they had sent out this probe. Oh, it's such a good episode.
It was kind of someone's version of a living library, more or less.
I barely remember that.
Well, there's so many different probe episodes where they're like, you would think they would just be like, oh, it's a probe, sir. Shields up.
Yeah, red alert. Fire on lasers.
There's so many problems with probes. You'd be surprised every time Crusher comes at them with some kind of device. They don't go, no, not again.
But half the time he's saving them. The other time... All right, number 8.
I know. That was number 8. Number 7 is it's a different part of the list because we have to go to Deep Space Nine for that. The episode is called "In the Pale Moonlight."
I remember.
I don't know these episodes by title.
I almost do.
This is late in DS9's run. It's an episode where Sisko is doing whatever it takes to get Romulans involved in the Dominion War.
That's right.
Oh.
That's a great episode.
He pulls something close to very dirty deals in that one. Episode number 6 is a classic that everyone will know from the original series. You don't even have to watch the show to know why this one is special. The episode title is The Trouble with Tribbles.
Oh, yes.
Hey, I got one here.
We found one.
That was actually one of my favorite DS9 episodes.
Oh, yeah, the Trials and Tribulations. Yeah.
Yes.
That's probably further up in this list, frankly. I've never flipped through all 100. Episode number 5 is back with the Next Generation. And it's one everybody will know is because it's a one-word title. Darmok.
Who?
Wait,
Darmok?
what? Oh,
Darmok. You guys don't remember that one?
Yeah, no, I remember that one. That's the one where Picard is on the planet with the aliens that don't speak in a translatable language.
Tenage or whatever it is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's with a member of an alien race that speaks entirely in cultural metaphor.
Yep.
You know, the guy keeps using the phrase Darmok at Tanagra.
Yeah, that was Darmok at Tanagra. Well, it was Darmok with so-and-so at Tanagra.
At Tanagra, yeah.
Sounds like Spurs for some reason.
Number 5 or number 4?
Oh, episode number 4 is we go back to Deep Space Nine for this one. It's The Visitor.
I don't remember that.
It's another one of these time travel episodes. This one centers around Jake Sisko, Sisko's son.
Oh, yeah.
Who's grown old as a writer and is willing to change time to bring his father back to life.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't recall that one.
Time travel is very frequent in these things, but that's the last time travel. Well, no, there's one more, actually. Number 3 is another time travel episode. This one is the original series. The City on the Edge of Forever.
I was going to bet that was going to be first, but I guess not.
Actually, I'm surprised that wasn't first. That's almost as iconic as Tribbles.
Yeah, that was written by Harlan Ellison, if I recall correctly.
Actually, their pick for the second best episode of Star Trek ever would have been my pick for first because I wasn't an original series fan. This was the not penultimate. I guess you could say it's the ultimate episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
The one where Picard has been taken by the Borg, the two-parter.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? I have never seen that.
Oh
really?
My God! You need to see
never
it.
seen
Really, I have never seen that.
Go watch
I managed
it.
to skip that during its original run for some reason and never got around to seeing it again.
Watch
you have to go download
it's really
that,
good.
man.
It's on Netflix.
That's the point where the whole series makes a pretty significant turn towards adventure, really.
Yeah, well, that and it gets more plot heavy. Like, well, not that it ever is plot heavy, but more more references to things that happened in the past.
Yeah. Usually when we have lists, this is a point where I ask you guys to guess which one is number 1, but I can't make you guess because there's too many. The number 1 episode, according to IO9, the best Star Trek episode ever, is an original series episode called The Balance of Terror.
That's a great episode. They're almost right.
Oh my God, Vetus orgasm.
That's the episode where they meet the Romulans.
Yep.
It's really good because it shows it.
It looks like the guy who plays Sarek in the movies is the one who is the Romulan in this episode.
That is correct.
Aha, I'm better at this than I thought. According to the short synopsis in IO9, quote, Kirk's battle of wits with a Romulan is spellbinding, but so is the exploration of prejudice and the idea that noble people fight on both sides, unquote.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
So it's a multifaceted kind of thing. We will go to Marvel Media, or Marvel Comic News, I should say. And there's only one piece of Marvel Comic News, and I'm a little sad about this. Sorry. Last week we talked about how Peter David, he's going back to writing Spider-Man 2099 to kind of help that series. It's lagging behind in sales. Mm-hmm. I was a little worried about how he split his time because he's working right now on All New X Factor. I found out that he's not splitting his time. All New X Factor is being canceled.
Really?
Yeah, this has been a series that I'm finding more interesting as it goes along. Didn't start very well, but the character development recently has been incredible. It's a team that's been brought together by Serval, which is kind of the Marvel Universe's version of Google. They're a multinational corporation.
Mm-hmm.
For reasons that haven't been explained yet, they got into superheroing. They hired Polaris to run an all-new team of X-Factor, and so far it's got on it Warlock from the New Mutants, Cypher from the New Mutants. You see her half-brother Quicksilver, Gambit, and Danger.
Oh,
that's her six-man
again?
team. Danger was the sentient program that used to run the Danger Room in the Xavier Mansion.
That's
the one he kidnapped.
That's right.
You know, and it also has a few guest spots by former X Factor members. Longshot's supposed to be in an upcoming issue. So I really liked it. The last issue that I read was incredible because Quicksilver has a really mixed history in Marvel Comics.
Yeah,
especially
slightly.
Especially recently. He stole part of the Terrigen Mist after he was depowered to try and get his own powers back. Didn't work. He tried to power other people. Didn't work well. It cost lives. And when the Inhumans said, "You stole Terrigen Mist," he actually told them, "Wasn't me. It was a Skrull. It was a guy who looked like me." You know, and this is a guy who used to be on the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and I'm paraphrasing, of course. It wasn't quite that stupid, but he said a Skrull did it. This was not long after the Secret Invasion. And he's carried this with him the whole time, and his daughter developed the ability to see the truth. The daughter he had with Crystal from the Inhumans. Her power as an Inhuman is to be able to instantly sense when people are lying and telling the truth to her, so she vowed she wouldn't...
Wait,
what?
So the Quicksilver got together with Crystal?
Yeah.
Huh.
This was like 1980s, early 90s Marvel.
Okay. Well, last I remembered, Crystal was seeing Johnny Storm, so I was like, okay, wait a minute.
It was an arranged marriage.
Ah.
But anyway, his daughter vowed to have nothing to do with him ever again. So he wandered for a little bit. He was an Avenger for a little while, and nothing was really working out. He ended up on this team because Havoc was looking for a spy to keep Polaris under control and make sure she doesn't fly off the handle again. Quicksilver wasn't doing much, so he agreed. And he recently admitted, because the press, you know how it is when you're in the public eye, the press is relentless.
Mm-hmm.
They started asking questions about Quicksilver's past, and he actually admitted in the middle of a press conference where Serval's trying to sell this team to the public that, yes, he stole the Terrigen Mist. Yes, he did horrible things. Yes, he owes everyone an apology. If you're looking for it, you can come find it. And he walked away from the press conference. You know, Serval wanted to fire him. Polaris said, okay, you fire him, we quit.
Huh.
So she stood behind him, and as he's sitting there just kind of wondering how everyone's taking it, all of a sudden Luna, his daughter, walks in the room and talks about how proud she is of him for owning up to his shit.
Nice.
Now, the issue after that involves the Inhumans looking for Luna because she apparently left without permission, so you can imagine how that goes. But she actually convinced her mother to I don't want to say talk to her father, but at least give him a kind of modified joint custody so she can visit him every now and again. So I'm sitting in all this going, this isn't exactly superheroes, but this is cool.
The ability to know when someone's lying makes detective work a little easy, actually.
Well, I doubt she's joining the team or anything, but it's one of those cases where you now have a 10-year-old that can instantly sense truth or lies as soon as someone speaks.
Yeah, what's her
call
sign going to be? BS?
Disneyland? We're going to Disneyland. You know, I doubt they're ever going to put her in the forefront of anything.
Oh,
but
no.
Like I said, David doesn't write action very well, but character moments he does extremely fucking well. And I'm sad that this series is ending, especially since it was a series that a lot of us enjoyed that started with, well, didn't start, but it was kind of resurgence with Madrox and Strong Guy and all that. So, a little sad. We have DC comic news. Cullen Bunn is the person who recreated Lobo, the one who recreated Lobo from the swarthy biker into the, or I guess you could say rough biker into the swarthy assassin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He recently told fans he, quote, gets it. He understands that fans of the 90s Lobo are not entirely happy with the one he's created.
Well, okay. I would think that unless they hit him over the head with a brick, it couldn't be more obvious.
Yeah. He said he understands, and he describes the new Lobo as, quote, a little bit of Han Solo, a little Mal Reynolds, a little Leon the Professional, and a little bit of Roy Batty, unquote.
Okay, I recognize 3 out of the 4.
Yeah, I don't know what Roy Batty is.
I've heard the name, but
he also says that the new Lobo will be established as the comic's main character, and he understands that he understands why people don't like this when compared to the prior one. It's nice to know that he acknowledges that people aren't enjoying it entirely. That gives him a chance to really find I guess you could say, a place of balance with everything. But I'm afraid I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
The original Lobo, while he was rough, he was kind of like DC's first... Actually, he was kind of like the first Deadpool ever. He was irreverent for the sake of irreverence. This new guy seems to be very serious. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is he basically... I mean, how did he do this? Is this like the same Lobo, or is this like somebody that's taken up the mantle, or...
Okay, well, let me explain. The way they've written it in New 52 continuity, the guy that's been running around all this time, the one with the wild hair and the leather and the chains and the space bike, he is someone who stole Lobo's identity.
Okay, I can see why they have a problem with that in and of itself, because that is insulting.
It's rather cheap writing. I will give you that.
I mean, that's just you have come to know and love the Lobo character, and he is
a fake.
Yeah, an imposter that couldn't even pull off a good representation of apparently who this real Lobo is. And so then you also have to beg the question.
There's more. There is more. The first issue of the new Lobo series that started this month, they started within the first few pages of the new Lobo, or I guess you could say the true Lobo, cutting off the head of the fake and frying him with enough chemicals and power items that even a true Zarnian could not resurrect. They killed the original.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. So again, you have to beg the question. If he stole the real Lobo's name and no one ever figured it out, why would he bother stealing the true Lobo's name if he wasn't that well known that people are going, you're not the right guy?
Maybe.
And then now all of a sudden, this other guy's showing up and taking out the original that we know is like so fucking badass he could take on Superman and some other shit. And no. Bullshit.
The way they presented it in the original Villain Month's special that brought this character out a couple months ago, it made it sound like the fake Lobo, or the one that everyone knew from the 90s, was somehow staying 2 steps ahead of the real one, even though he kept circling back to Earth for some reason.
Yeah, no.
Again, I think it's making that Lobo a little smarter than he actually is.
The current one or the original one?
The original.
I can't argue that. I mean, I knew the original one was supposed to be an effective bounty hunter, but, you know, when you got a guy who takes punches from Superman, anybody's an effective bounty hunter with that power.
Yeah, I just... No, I don't like this. I'm not even a huge fan of the Lobo character, and I don't like this.
The original Lobo is one of the few DC items I am a fan of, and I don't mind change, but in this case, it is kind of lazy writing. You say, nope, he's not the real one. This one's the real one.
He's not the real one. He somehow is now captured and dead, and he was never the real one, so you shouldn't care about him.
Well, let's qualify that. You're as dead as you can get in comic books.
Yeah, even still. No, I don't. It doesn't even strike me as lazy writing. It strikes me as disrespectful, rude, and, you know, it just rubs me the wrong way. Doing that to an established character of that.
I know. The only other DC comic news I have is we have some explanation as to their next event after Future's End already. Several characters from what appears to be Earth 2 on... I think Earth 2. I don't know. From a recent issue of Future's End, I should say. Characters ended up on a strange-looking planetoid where they were greeted by what looks to be a, 40-story tall version of Brainiac.
Okay.
A very large cybernetic organism, and he says to them, and remember some of the stuff we've talked about when it comes to the events upcoming, the quote from the panel is, "Little things, welcome to my world. Welcome to the Blood Moon," unquote.
Well, that's
we discussed before
nice and dramatic.
Yeah, DC said before that after Future's End, the next event is something that has to do with the Blood Moon. It looks like we have our answer. But this version of Brainiac has been collecting all kinds of stuff. He put a character in a cage, and they ended up able to see into shards of windows that seem to show several different things, including Superman in blue tights with red trunks.
Okay.
Someone that can pierce the dimensional veil.
Someone who seems to be very aware of the multiverse, but he wasn't the only one there. You had some of the characters he jumped were Frankenstein's monster and Amethyst, and just when it looked like he's getting ready to have his way, all of a sudden there's an explosion of thunder, and there's the Atom riding the shoulder of Black Adam, getting ready to deliver a haymaker. I have no idea where this is going, and I don't know. I guess my problem is I'm not familiar enough with DC's villains to know how big of a threat this is. It's like Brainiac is one of those things that should be more intimidating than he is, but he hasn't chalked up enough wins to be intimidating. Does that make any sense?
Perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, given what I know of Marvel Comics, Magneto has occasionally successfully murdered people. Bolivar Trask made the Sentinels who have killed mutants. Even Apocalypse has corrupted the best that the X-Men have and turned them into horsemen every now and again. I don't know that Brainiac's had any significant wins other than taking an entire Kryptonian city and putting it in a bottle.
He's done that to countless civilizations, actually.
Okay. But still, when I say win, I mean direct confrontation with the heroes of DC.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. No.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things where this should be more intimidating. I sense it. I don't see it. That's the best I got.
Makes sense to me.
From there, we will move in. Believe it or not, I have absolutely zero general comic news this week. So from there, we'll just bounce directly into we'll bounce directly into anime and Japan news. This is something I did not know. You know that Spider-Man has a connection to Sentai shows?
To what?
Sentai shows. Think
Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has a connection to those.
Okay.
And the connection is entirely corporate for the most part, but back in the 1970s, Toei Japan had a licensing deal with Marvel. And with that deal, they made a Spider-Man TV show.
Huh.
It was one of the first things that they ever really did. That they even used it was one of the first shows that Japan put out that involved costumes, a whole lot of martial arts, even had a giant robot at certain points.
Okay.
The show only ran for a year, but Marvel continued to pump in some money to try and put out different projects. Obviously, they're fishing for comic book ideas. It's kind of interesting to note that, technically, Spider-Man was a Sentai warrior.
Yeah.
There's something about one of the pictures here that's bothering me, though.
What's that?
It's hard for me to put into words. I'm going to send you the URL. I think Steve can help me the most with this. Because there's an image of 3 Sentai warriors that I think came from one of Marvel's things called Battle Fever J. Why do these costumes look so freaking familiar, and why do I want to laugh when I look at them?
They're definitely Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I know that, but they remind me of something else, like some cartoon or something I saw. They make me want to laugh. Okay. They're inspiring something in the back of my brain, some memory that makes you want to giggle.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Gatchaman in a way.
Yeah. I don't know why.
The red, blue, and yellow is so common. I mean, hell, even the Get a Robo, red, blue, and yellow. It's just
it only bothers me because of the way these costumes are designed. It reminds me of either an anime or a cartoon that made fun of this. Some parody.
I don't know, because it's definitely not Shinesman.
No, it was more basic than that, but I'm having trouble locking it in. It's something from the era of Prefectural Earth Defense Force, but it's something from that era.
Yeah, that's
costume stuff almost reminds me of a bit of Voltron in a way, which if you were thinking about parody, Megas XLR comes to mind.
No, it's not that. Like I said, it's something from the 80s I'm thinking of, but I don't know what. I'll just leave it there for now. Anime and game characters are finding second life in Japan in the most unusual ways. They're being used as scarecrows.
That's awesome.
I see.
There's no other way to say it than some Japanese farmers are using images from anime characters and using them as scarecrows. I sent you a link because there's all kinds of pictures here. I see one of Goku's head for some reason on a scarecrow. I see a Titan. I see several things I don't understand. I even see Elsa, Anna, and Olaf from Frozen as scarecrows. That's creepy as all fuck.
I can't see it on my Xbox for some reason. Oh, wait, never mind.
Huh.
Here we go.
I see a ski jumper.
Godzilla. What the hell is that?
This is some weird.
Vegeta.
This is some weird as hell stuff. Oh, look, Totoro. And I think Godzilla. That would scare the piss out of a crow for sure. What the hell is this thing? This is beyond me. I wish I was in San Francisco this weekend. There was an exhibit of anime art that was put up at the Spoke Gallery. It's called Otaku Obscura. It's the first show by somebody named Joshua Bolditch. It's a tribute to anime. He did special prints of his own based on things like Akira, Princess Mononoke, Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion, all digitally painted works, and they're rather striking. It would have been something to go check out. Has anybody... I know V won't answer this in the positive. Has anyone else besides me watched Psycho Pass?
I watched the first episode, but not much more than that.
Actually, I'd say it came out about 18 months ago, and the second season starts this month, I think.
Is that the one with the microwave gun?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
I bring that up in Anime in Japan news because as part of the advertisements for the game, Namco Bandai has put together a replica of the weapon from that series, the Dominator. I sent you guys a URL. Take a look. It is pretty. That is cosplay ready right there.
Damn.
Oh wow!
Those LED lights do change colors. It doesn't transform like it does, but it does come also with the voice actors from the series saying several lines from the show in it.
Huh. Nice.
That's pretty nifty.
Still a scary device, though.
Oh, absolutely. You should really get further into the series. It has it's super frightening, actually. Even in the second episode, I think it displays some abilities they never touch on in the first. Unfortunately, we also have one of those weird news stories that seems to come out about strange debauchery in Japan.
Oh, boy.
There's a 35-year-old unemployed woman in the Nagano prefecture. She had been paying a 15-year-old boy with whom she was acquainted to join her for intimate encounters at her home. She paid several thousand yen per service.
So it's pretty much the same as what's normally happening, except it's a good boy instead of a girl.
More or less, and also when you say several thousand yen, I mean, for all I know, that could be like $20.
Yeah.
You know, the conversion of yen is like almost 100 to the dollar.
Yeah,
right now.
You lop off 2 zeros, and that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. The thing is, though, they weren't caught because they were enjoying it. She was caught because the boy tried to withdraw from the arrangement, and the woman took offense.
Okay.
The thing is, though, her threats weren't that good, unless she was ugly, because her threats were to expose their deal to the boy's friends using the Line app.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah, unless you're butt ugly, go ahead, post to all my friends. Come on,
boost my cred.
See what happens to me. But she has been arrested, thankfully. The charges are child prostitution and blackmail. There's some people in Japan that are kind of insulted that state funds were used for sex.
I don't know. It seems like a much more honest and worthy use than some of the uses they put it to.
I know. How dare you use welfare money for sex? Use it like the rest of us, on crack. Such a strange argument. Last bit of Japan news I have. There is an idol lolly group, a bunch of junior schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with this. They have banned a fan for touching.
Okay.
They banned one of the fans for touching and monopolizing one of the girls at an event. In other words, they kept coming back to her and kept shaking her hand and stuff, and it was really weird and creepy. The fan happens to look like he's about 37 to 40, somewhere around my age, thinning hair that has frosted tips and this ugly goatee and a weight issue. And yeah, I would want him away from the 6-year-old. The junior idol group is called Girlfriend. The members' age range is from 6 to frickin' 11.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah,
Issues.
you can go.
Issues.
You can seriously
God.
go. There's images of some people like picking up these girls for pictures and stuff, and that's way beyond what should be acceptable.
Definitely.
Actually, I should back that up because the guy in these pictures, he may not be the one that's banned. Maybe it's the one of the guy that's picked up the girl. That guy should go. Either way, all this is wrong. They're freaking 6.
Yeah.
What are you doing at 40 years old listening to 6-year-olds sing?
Well, if she was a family member, I suppose that would be one thing, but...
I wouldn't even care if they're members of Menudo, dude. This is not cool. We have nerd interest news where we talk about the nerdy and scientific things that happen across the internet. IO9 had an article about a single cosmic ray causing an air shower of billions of particles.
Pretty?
It sounds like a single cosmic ray. The pictures here are kind of doctored up. There's one here that's a map of what happens when cosmic rays hit the atmosphere and how it disperses. This is complicated. Take a look at what this dispersal pattern looks like. You could irradiate half of Manhattan with this frickin' thing.
The hell?
That's when a single cosmic ray hits the atmosphere, and those are the particles streaming off of it as it hits the atmosphere.
It's like a shotgun blast.
Almost.
So we all have a chance to become the Fantastic Four. Excellent.
More or less. What you're looking at is a map of hadrons and gamma rays and how they interact with the atmosphere.
Cool. I always wanted one.
Yeah, staring at this, there should be more people flying, frankly. Also, when it comes to spacefaring news, this is interesting. On Jupiter, you can see neon rain.
I want to see
as in
pictures.
what color?
It doesn't say. I'm trying to understand because I'm sure it's not as electrifying as it sounds, but it's more or less probably the element itself. Because of the gas compression on Jupiter and the fact that it's basically an incomplete star, the precipitation there seems to be largely amounted to neon and hydrogen. They act as metallic liquids. That would be cool to watch.
Yeah.
Would definitely be unique.
If we start interstellar travel, the first thing people will do is go to Jupiter and start a rave. You can use science to keep your beers from getting skunky.
What?
Okay.
There's a video from the American Chemical Society, and they debunk the notion that heat causes your beer to skunk, make it smelly.
Mm-hmm.
They say that the actual culprit is sunlight. Not heat, but sunlight.
I believe it.
Sunlight starts a photochemical reaction in the hops that creates a molecule similar in profile to the one that gives skunked odor.
And there's a reason
if you
why
want
most beer balls are in that dark glass. It helps refract the light.
If you want your beer to keep from smelling up the room, keep it out of direct light. At least until you're ready to drink it. Get a cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the same vein as one of our Kickstarters. Somebody, and it doesn't say... Oh, I'm sorry. Nick Brick. He's a Lego enthusiast.
Uh-huh.
Over the course of 27 days, he has made a 15-pound model of Halo's Savannah starship.
Pictures.
Yes.
Wow, and little too enthusiastic there.
Sorry,
the Savannah,
huge Lego fan.
Yeah, I believe the Savannah was from Halo 4.
Okay, yeah, I think so.
Ooh, wow.
It's an impressive build. It took him 27 days.
13
Looked pretty
pounds.
detailed, too. Yeah. Not only that, he used some parts to even make scale Pelicans and Saber starships to go with it.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah, this is a busy dude. I wonder what his living room looks like.
Where's
Not
shoes?
like mine.
I don't know.
I would
I have
wear
a
shoes.
gift. I have a gift for you guys. Because I can't say the story without bearing the lead. Take a look at this. You'll see a hand doing something very unusual.
Ooh.
I can't see it yet.
Okay.
Okay, I see it. It's reaching.
All right.
And
It's not
Vanished
grasping.
from sight.
no, what's happening
No,
in that
take a-
mirror?
Oh,
Yeah, what's
yes.
that? The ring there.
I
Okay,
see.
so
Or not?
you know what that is?
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Invisibility cloak?
Research. The University of Rochester, using simple, inexpensive, and readily available materials, have developed an optical system that can readily hide objects in the visible spectrum.
Nice. Invisibility cloak.
Yep.
Ish.
Yeah, it's a start. I don't know if this is wearable necessarily, or if this is just an example of the lenses and mirrors you would need. But using the materials that they say are cheap and easily found, you can bend enough optic light to make something disappear from sight.
Perverts the world over rejoice.
Are you kidding? Have you guys... As a kid, I know I was very into it when McDonald's would have their Monopoly promotion.
I didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, something about collecting the pieces, it appeals to my sense as a collector.
Yeah.
I was reading an article on Yahoo Finance about the odds of finding the winning pieces. Holy shit, I'm never doing this again.
You didn't realize?
I realized it like middle life. I haven't really been interested in the last 8-9 years or so. But let me put it this way: the article points out that there's 602,490,060 game pieces in play. That means there are 1.2 billion game stamps or individual attempts at victory. There's 135,540,995 food prizes, 15,838,729 instant win prizes. The odds of winning a prize at the in-store game are 1 in 4, or a 25% probability. Of course, most of that probability is small fries.
Mm-hmm. Or a small drink or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you have a 1 in 9 or 11% chance of a medium fry. A 1 in 44 or 2.3% chance of a quarter pounder with cheese. A 2.3% chance of a small McCafe or smoothie. A 2.3% chance of a McFlurry. Or a 1 in 22 or 4.6% chance of a breakfast sandwich. Ooh, no.
That will not be served after 10:30 a.m.
Yeah. To get the ultimate prize, the $1 million prize and $50,000 annual payments, you need to find the blue boardwalk piece, which is the rare one of the pair.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 1 in 602 million chance of getting it.
Yeah. I think that's actually worse than the lottery. Or, no, it's not worse than the lottery.
No, it is. It's about 3 times worse. I think the lottery is 1 in 115 million. Green is a 1 in 40 million chance of 15 Fiat cars. You need Pennsylvania Avenue. Venter Avenue for the yellow is a 1 in 300 million chance for just $20,000. Tennessee Avenue is also 1 in 602 million, and that gives you Super Bowl tickets. The better chances you have are to find the brown for Mediterranean Avenue. 1 in 30 million chances for $1,000. Probably spend that much just trying to find the goddamn thing. Let's see. We also... Cosplayers get too extreme sometimes when it comes to putting together a decent costume.
Mm-hmm.
According to comicbook.com, somebody was not very happy with the Nerf replica Iron Man gauntlet. He's a YouTuber going by Anselmo Fanzero. He's created a working Iron Man gauntlet that fires an actual rocket.
Wow.
What?
It fires a rocket. There's a YouTube here. It's 6 minutes long. Do we want?
Yes.
Yeah, let's check that out. Hell, I still remember somebody I knew back in the day having a one of the Voltron lions from Japan, and they didn't have the same child safety laws and whatnot. So the spring actually shot the plastic missile through his mom's couch cushion.
Oh.
So this has got to be more impressive than that.
I could just imagine if I did that at home, my dad would say, "Form blazing ass whooping." Okay, so we've already gotten into the video, and I see he's got this thing on some small hydraulics. It actually does raise up the arm plate for the... I don't know what else to call it besides the ex-wife.
I like the disclaimer.
Yeah. It's an impressive piece of fiberglass, I'll say that. It looks good.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh, the guy made some web shooters, too.
Has he?
Yeah, just look on the sidebar. Mine shows a web shooter.
This guy also has laser eyes. It looks like he built a pair of glasses that use a pair of lasers to burn things. He calls it Cyclops' style.
Laser right prototype Mark 1.
It sounds like this guy is like a... Yeah, this guy is a second-level engineer, it sounds like. You know what this is? This is a guy Bruce Wayne needs to hire.
He's got Lucius Fox.
This is a guy Bruce Wayne needs to hire. I'm almost scared to find out what happens. It's a whole lot of description. Oh wait, I found the section with a test. You have to skip forward to about 5:17. Wait, I call bullshit. Okay, I call bullshit. I was looking at that one. It looked like there was a wire attached to the gauntlet before he fired it. Anybody catch that?
No.
Skip the cursor to 5:17. Take a good look just ahead of the opening of that thing. You can see something that looks like a string.
Yeah, I see it.
I do see something, yeah. And they are jumping the shot right there.
Yeah. I mean, you can, if you can fire it, that's impressive and everything, but to attach it to a string, that's it's a little cheap.
Oh, it's a lot. I imagine that to be a hell of a lot safer.
Yeah, I guess. Still, though, it's painful to find out that he didn't actually put some, I guess you could say, good enough ailerons to at least fire in a straight line. I don't need it to explode or shit, just it'd be nice to be able to launch something. I'm not sick enough to have to blow something up, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, the string's on the back end. It's not like the string's pulling it out of there or something.
No, a string's a guide.
Yeah, the string is a guide for the missile to head to a point.
There's no string in front of it, so how is it guiding it?
There is. It's attached to the gauntlet as it's open, so...
Yeah.
The fire test is a setup, more or less. Well, I'm sure you can launch it from the gauntlet. The rocket apparently has no directional, so he attached the wire to it to give it a straight flight.
Or more predictable more predictable endpoint.
Mm-hmm. Well, hackers have used Reddit to connect 17,000 Macs to a botnet.
What?
Yeah, people keep telling me they like to buy Apple products because they're harder to hack. It seems like all I hear about lately is Apple hacks. Mac users are at risk for a malware that'll connect your computer to a botnet. They've developed a backdoor entry called mac.backdoor.iworm. It gains access to the Macs and uses Reddit to connect the hacked computer to a command server. It zombies your computer so that they can make more complicated hacks. The iWorm uses Reddit's search function to hunt down posts made by the hackers. The posts are on a Minecraft subreddit. They provide server addresses and software uses that the Reddit posts as a guide to connect to the botnet. It's not clear, though, how they're connecting to these Macs in the first place, but they estimate that most of the infected Macs are in the U.S. Approximately 17,000 of them. So, your Apple may have a worm. I tried. Kotaku has a guide for a Destiny Halloween costume.
Okay.
They give you a point where to find the gun, the cloak, the jumpsuit, the gauntlets, the armor, the web harness, boots, whiteout contact lenses, a paintball mask, and a thin bungee cord, and a few other items. It will require a little assembly. You'll need also paint, mirror tint film, Gila window film, hot glue gun, and glue. Actually, the picture that they posted to go with it, it's not bad.
That just sounds like an awful lot of production.
Well,
Possibly
for a cosplayer,
for
a cosplayer, probably not as much. If you take a look, all this stuff you need would be to put together an awoken hunter.
Right.
It doesn't say who did this. I'd like to give a little more credit. Well, the story was by Nathan Grayson on Kotaku, so the article is definitely there.
Yeah, I find it interesting. It looks like they're more of the reef chosen, since they have has kind of the yellow eyes rather than the blue glowing eyes that the.
Well, yellow was an option you could choose in the character creator.
Was it?
Oh yeah. I played with all kinds of colors there. I did find it kind of funny looking at that picture. Though. That's definitely like a rubber Master Chief chest plate you're using for that one. Last news I have is our What the Fuck corner, where there's all those things all over the internet that just makes you question why we're alive. Have you guys ever ordered El Todos at Taco Bell?
Nope.
Oh, what?
El Todos.
You totally skipped out on mine, so I didn't even hear the lead up.
Okay. I was asking, have you guys ever ordered El Todos from Taco Bell?
No.
El Todos in Spanish means the all or the everything. Want to guess what's in it?
Everything?
Lots of things I don't like.
Well, there's a small video that goes with it. I'm not going to bother to send it to you, but basically what I'm looking at is you take tacos of all different kinds, including, it looks like Dorito shells and fiery Dorito shells and regular corn crunchies, okay? You make full supreme tacos, put them on top of a tortilla, turn them on their side in a pinwheel formation, then you put another tortilla on top, and you put that in the griller.
Okay.
This sounds like death. Hot, yummy death.
I don't like sour cream or tomatoes, so I'll pass.
I like both of those things now.
Now, see, if they were really smart, then they would have put beans on the tortilla to make the tacos stick better, and then you could say that it's truly everything. Not to mention add a little bit of onions.
Ew.
Well, it sounds like it has little bits of everything. The writer is from Australia, and he mentions that there's ingredients and items like tacos, burritos, and several other things in there. Everything from meats to beans to cheese went into El Todos.
It sounds like something we would do late at night when we were cleaning up everything and we didn't want to put all the meat and everything away, and we'd just make crazy concoctions.
You know what? If Brandon's coming to ALA, maybe the three of us should get together with Anthony, go to a local Taco Bell outside Anime Los Angeles, and just order El Todos.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's something specific to Australia or something, because it don't exist on any menu.
Actually, it doesn't exist on any menu, but if you order it, they can make it.
Well,
Taco Bell doesn't exist in Australia, actually.
Oh. Well, they don't exist in Japan either, so it doesn't really surprise me.
Marvel has had some interesting projects in the past that don't always work out. I would count this among them. They have redesigned Florida's mascot for orange juice, Captain Citrus.
I didn't even realize Florida had a mascot for orange.
Right?
Oh, we're obviously going to get a picture for this.
Well, actually, I'll give you the original Captain Citrus, and this is not a guy I'd ask to save anything. It's an orange with Aunt Jemima lips.
Okay.
Yeah. Marvel was given $1 million to redesign it. Florida paid them money to do this. And this is the new Captain Citrus. He looks like a reject from City of Heroes.
Kind of like the costume.
Yeah.
Well, this Captain Citrus, I don't know what the original one did, but this one has the power to convert sunlight into solar powers.
I kind of like that, actually.
That definitely sounds like a City Heroes character.
Wait, it gets better.
Look at that yellow shield. That is totally an energy shield from City of Heroes.
It gets better. His secret headquarters is in a Florida orange grove.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense? Where are you going to hide a giant penny among orange trees?
But he's Captain Citrus.
I just can't believe they paid $1 million for this. They could have gone to Comic-Con and paid about $300 to get this.
Or City of Heroes.
Yeah, but then you couldn't legally put Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and Black Widow behind him.
Yeah, I don't expect to find this guy. I don't expect to find this guy in the Avengers either. I take it nobody here owns an iPhone 6.
No.
I
still own a stupid phone.
Have you guys heard about the problems that they've had with the frames on these things bending?
Yep.
Nope.
Because they're made out of aluminum. It's not the sturdiest of materials. You can actually bend it by apparently putting it in your back pocket and sitting it down.
Ooh.
Well, the reason why this ended up in WTF, because two British teens calling themselves Kylie and Danny, they decided to go to the Apple store and test this theory. They actually took the in-store demo and bent it.
Yeah.
And they put it on YouTube.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That was probably the thing I was seeing in the... when we were watching that other video, I saw a such and such test. I thought it was supposed to snap back, but apparently not.
I mean, if you're going to test it, that's one thing. I would honestly say, do your phones bend? And if they say no, it's like, okay, pick it up. Let's see if this happens. If you're just going to bend it for the sake of bending it, then put it on YouTube, I can't explain how stupid that is in simple words. I don't have the words for that.
People's Exhibit A.
Yeah. Did you know that Bungie apparently has a sense of humor about their own games?
I do now.
I'm going to send you a YouTube. There it is. This is actually a clip from a game of Destiny. There's a player doing a strike. He gets taken down on a roof. And then the captain who shot him decides that he has a message for him. He walked over to his corpse and squats.
Dude,
so
I
you were teabagged, Steve.
I told you that Goblin teabagged me.
Bungie has programmed their enemies to teabag you.
That's awesome.
I feel like there should be some really bad cartoon music in this show right now. Well, there was a poll in My Navi Woman in Japan. The poll was on a Navi website, a GPS website geared towards Japanese women.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And the poll was 231 women, and they revealed the things that they would hate their boyfriends to collect. Little hint, according to Japanese women, Steve, Jesse, and I would never have girlfriends.
Why?
The number 9 thing on the list, with only 3 votes out of 231, was things related to anime.
Okay, we're done.
Tough shit. They only got 3 votes. Oh no, I'll take
the quote by a 24-year-old IT worker was, because it's otaku-like.
Yeah, well, otaku in Japan is actually a negative thing.
Yeah, which leads us to which was tied for something else at number 9. So there's technically 10 items in total. The other thing that got 3 votes out of 231 was otaku-related goods. According to a 27-year-old company employee, quote, because I put importance on a home's interior, it would be unbearable and unpleasant when we got married for those kinds of things to end up in my own home, unquote.
So I won't marry the bitch. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's 3 women out of about 200 and something. I think, but
total of 6 actually.
Yeah.
6.
Well, then I think my chances are somewhat good of finding somebody that would be okay with that.
Well, let's continue. We'll put that to the test. Number 8 would be adult videos or sexy DVDs at 6 votes.
Well, then she better be putting out every day.
Quote, it seems totally lewd, unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7 is not in my wheelhouse. With 10 votes out of 231. Bugs/insects. Quote, I hate bugs, and it seems dirty. Gross, unquote.
Okay.
There are people that collect insects, but I wouldn't...
I know that. I'm not one of them.
Number 6 is also not in my wheelhouse, but I would understand why people wouldn't date this type of individual. At 13 votes, things they would not like their boyfriends to do would be collect women's underwear.
Yeah.
The reasoning was kind of odd, though, because it says, quote, because it's erotic, unquote. That's according to a 25-year-old office worker. Wow, some people have way too little time on their hands, obviously. Number 5 at 15 votes was Idol Goods. You know, the singers?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Quote, I feel like it's supporting those idols, unquote.
Right, because we
glad
wouldn't want
you
to
put
do that.
Together. Yeah, I'm glad you figured out that buying Idol Goods supports idols. That's cool. Item number 4 kind of goes with item number 5. At 17 votes, Idol picture book / posters. Quote, I feel like it really doesn't matter if I'm here or not, unquote. Wow, it's nice you can compare yourself to a poster in that form.
Yeah.
Number 3, eliminate all of us. At 23 votes, anime figures. Quote, I don't get what's good about them at all, unquote.
Well, of course not. You're not a fan.
At 29 votes, item number 2 is Bashoujo or Moe figures. Quote, I dislike them because he'd stare at them and he'd get a lewd look on his face, unquote. Somebody's had a bad experience dating prior.
Yeah.
The top item at this vote of 231 individuals as to things that Japanese women would not like their boyfriends to do or collect. Number 1 at 40 votes, figures.
Okay.
According to a 28-year-old, quote, I don't see the necessity of them, unquote.
Figures as in, like, any
they
gaming
don't specify
figures?
beyond that. It just says figures.
Yeah, well, okay, here's the thing.
That could be action figures, statues,
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Mock-ups.
She used the word necessity.
Yeah.
Okay? There is no fucking necessity. It's
Right?
something we do to keep ourselves entertained.
It is a
If
hobby.
that doesn't entertain you, I'm sure there's shit that I know that if I made a fucking list,
well,
that might
down.
not,
It sounds like this is one of those cultural differences, you know. It sounds like Japanese females want to be more in sync with their partners.
Well, I think a pool of 600 women is pretty fucking small, too.
Yeah.
Where'd you get 600 from?
Well, I thought that's what you said.
I said a vote of 231.
Okay, well, and then I thought I heard Jesse say 600, and I was like, oh, all right.
No,
Yeah.
When I say
231 individuals.
I don't know. In any case, that's a very small number.
Okay, this one struck me kind of sideways. Considering how often I go to conventions, there's several things I need to perform my duties as press, right? And one of them I would say would be a sturdy internet connection. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay, the primary chain I like to stay at is the Marriott because they tend to be pretty good across the board, whether it be business or what. Some of them get stuffy, but for the most part, they do well by me. That's just the way it is. Well, there's a Marriott in Tennessee. I can't go here. Or at least I can now. The Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center, they were using signal jammers to impede Wi-Fi inside their buildings to force people to buy their internet service.
Ooh.
That's dirty.
That's
dirty.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just that they did this. They were using the Wi-Fi jammers, and the Marriott was charging conference organizers, the guys in charge for putting on these events, between $250 and $1,000 per access point.
Jesus.
Yeah, no. Well, we're not doing business with you.
It turns out that the FCC looked into several complaints, including one person who happened to work in telecommunications and brought a wavelength scanner who found the jamming signal and decided to turn that in. Then several other complaints came in. The hotel, I don't know about the chain, but the hotel itself was fined $600,000 for this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beyond dick move.
Yeah, that's unethical.
Yeah. At least they were caught. IO9 has a supervillain's guide to fashion and world domination.
Oh, boy.
They put together a mock-up of what you need to put together the best villain outfit. Some of it I agree and disagree with. You know, it all kind of depends. Let me see. They have a beard or goatee. It says, quote, fittingly, the face of a supervillain is like the upside-down version of the face of a hero. Heroes have luscious locks of hair and are clean-shaven to emphasize their youth and vitality. Supervillains have little to no hair and facial hair to stroke as they scheme. Holy shit, I'm a supervillain.
So am I, apparently.
Or else they're the anti-hero, like...
I'm getting there.
Unfortunately, the second one kind of takes me out of supervillain. Skin, quote, must be either deathly pale or ethnic in a way that reads as menacing to white people. Oh wait, I am a supervillain. Cool. Top, quote, a hybrid between something military and an S&M harness. Evil-like straps. Also black leather, unquote.
Nope, I'm out.
Quote, for a touch of drama, giant collar attached to cape. Both perfect for, both perfect for looming.
Does that make Doctor Strange a villain now?
Presumably. Shoes, quote, knee-high boots with a slight heel. To fight that constant Napoleon complex, unquote.
Sorry, no, I'm not putting those things on.
They mean boot heels. They don't mean stilettos, dude.
I ain't putting heels on at all.
Okay. Oh, wow, it's official. I am a supervillain. Hair, quote, none. Supervillains are bald. Because of the power of their brilliance has removed their hair. All of a sudden I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Scar or other deformity, quote, tied to the backstory that makes you a supervillain and or from previous tangles with the hero, unquote.
I definitely got a scar, but, no.
Let me see. Well, I played football, so this also applies to me. Giant shoulder pads, quote, a must for the true supervillain. Possibly adorned with insane spikes, unquote.
So they're the
I'm reminded of the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
LOD. Wow.
Belt buckle, quote, skull, unquote.
Okay.
There you go, skull belt.
Yeah.
That's pretty much any biker, I guess.
Oh, I love this. Gloves, quote, in hand, so they can be put on in an intimidating way during threatening torture, unquote.
That's so true.
I love their quote for pants. Quote, drew a blank here. Probably either skin-type black leather, martial-style jodhurs, or none, unquote. No, I prefer my blue jeans, thanks.
Yeah, me too.
It says here, quote, you may be wondering, what about my weapon? This is a common mistake by the lesser villains. A snazzy holster or antique sword may add a certain something, but real supervillains are too brilliant to really need a weapon. They have minions for the dirty work, unquote.
So wait, does that make us your minions now?
Yes. The last one, it says, pet. Quote, supervillains are allowed cats or, if allergic, snakes, unquote.
Why not just say lizards? Reptiles or lizards?
I
mean, why narrow it down to just snakes? I mean, what if snakes freak you out?
Yeah, just go badass. Have a trained Komodo attack dragon. Let's see, I have the beard, I have the lack of hair, I have a scar, I have the skin.
But you have a rabbit, so you're out.
Well, rabbits are also a sign of fertility, so, the superhero's girlfriend is just literally fucked. I have half of this. I have tactical boots, so yeah, okay, I'm a supervillain. Cool. Man, I would slap the shit out of this kid. There's a 15-year-old who, he's in Belgium.
Uh-huh.
He was helping out his parents. His parents were not the tech-savviest persons, so he was given his grandfather's credit card, and he was given the info by his mother, who had requested her son's help to buy and download ebooks onto a tablet, right?
Oh, boy.
So he used that card also for an a free-to-play game he was on, Game of War Fire Age. Apparently he was a little lacking on gold because he used the credit card to buy some for his characters in his game.
Oh, boy.
He racked up an impressive $46,381.90 worth of charges.
Ooh, that boy's grounded for a while.
Yeah, he's 14. He's obviously old enough to know he's making a purchase, so the odds you're going to get that money back, not good.
Either he doesn't know how credit cards work, or he
helped set up the credit card on his mother's tablet so she could buy ebooks. He knows exactly how that thing works.
Yeah, I don't know.
He may not understand repaying it, but he knows how to use it.
Well, that's what I meant, is repaying it.
Yeah.
I just don't.
He didn't also spend the $40,000 on Game of War Fire Age. He also linked the credit card to his own iTunes account.
Idiot.
He'd been doing this for at least 2 months, and the boy's mother said she had no idea. You know what? At that point, I mean, it's. I'd almost like to hand this guy over to Adrian Peterson to discipline, frankly.
Who?
Adrian Peterson is a football player who's been disallowed from playing this season for disciplining two of his child, I think ages 4 and 9, via wooden switch.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Frick, man, I would be pissed beyond pissed. That would be the kind of piss where you're not really yelling at the kid, you're just making a whole bunch of spluttering sounds and turning red. I do have a list here in our WTF corner.
Okay.
GameRant.com put together a list of what they consider the 10 most disturbing Pokemon. Some of these are similar to a list I know we've had on Dorkly, but some of these are completely new to me. The end of the list was actually kind of weird. I didn't expect that one. At the top of the list, they put Gothita. Quote, type is psychic. It's disturbing enough that Gothita, this Pokemon's starting form, resembles a baby that stares at something only it can see. But once it evolves into Gothorita at level 32, its creep factor gets sent sky high. Thank you. With Hypnosis Mastered, the creature steals people away at night. Whether it steals people away as offerings to the thing only it can see is impossible to know. Once the evolution to Gothitelle is achieved at level 41, this creature uses its psychic abilities to see the future. Specifically, the death of their trainer. While useful in combat, having this Pokemon in one's arsenal is just too creepy. You can always look on the bright side. If Gothitelle isn't hypno-kidnapping its trainer, it's probably only because it knows death is imminent.
Yeah. Who the fuck comes up with this shit for a children's game?
I don't know.
The Japanese.
Oh, fuck, dude. I can only imagine.
They are
who was
big.
writing this
They
and what
are
were thinking.
big on horror, so yeah, but...
Oh, there's still 9 others. Do we want them?
All right.
Okay.
We started this rabbit hole. Let's go.
Well, there's one here I've never heard of called Spoink. It looks like a gray pig with a spring underneath it and some kind of orb between its ears.
Eesh.
Quote, type psychic. If you're looking for a precocious and spunky critter to keep by your side, then Spoink fits that bill. Sure, it's a little weird that the pig-headed Pokemon uses a giant pink pearl on its head to amplify its psychic abilities, but the way it hops around on the spring it possesses in place of a body? Adorable! Until you learn that the springing isn't a sign of Spoink's rambunctious attitude, but required to live. That's right, if Spoink stops springing, he stops breathing. Stops doing pretty much anything, really. Try to imagine what kind of paranoia results when death isn't just a misstep away, and it suddenly becomes easier to understand why Spoink is also a kleptomaniac, ever pursuing a bigger and better pearl, unquote. Holy fuck, I am weirded out right now. I've never read this story, but listening to that description, what the it's like a shark, man. If I don't keep moving, I'm dead.
Maybe that's the inspiration.
I suppose. Have you guys ever heard of a dust skull?
No.
I've never seen this one before either. There must be a lot here from later games.
Quote, they're like Generation 6 right now. So
yeah.
There's a shit ton out there.
Well, it says here, quote, type ghost. Sure, ghosts are always spooky, and it's no mystery why this Pokemon, styled after the Grim Reaper, puts us on edge. But the single glowing eye sliding back and forth between eye sockets is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, damn.
Where additional eeriness is concerned. Duskull is a nocturnal Pokemon, mostly inhabiting dense forests, obviously, but it isn't interested in woodland creatures, only children, because this floating Pokemon is rumored to pursue kids who don't follow the rules.
So it's a pedophile.
Yeah. Why? Because it enjoys the sound of them crying. But hey, it's not all creepy. Once Duskull evolves into Dusclops, it's capable of swallowing anything into its body cavity, never to be seen again. We'll let you use your imagination, unquote.
Oh my.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I enjoy playing Pokemon as a teenager. I don't think my kids are going to get one of these anymore. The next one here is actually one I'm familiar with from the early games, the Drowsy.
Oh, yeah.
This made it on the list of creepiest Pokemon according to GameRant.com. Quote, type Psychic. We don't know whether there's something about Psychic-type Pokemon that brings out the most troubling the developers, but Drowsy is yet another hypnotizing critter that makes our skin crawl. The aptly named Pokemon puts its enemies to sleep so that it may more easily feast on its dreams. While that certainly does place Drowsy under the odd column among the series' more fun-loving Pokemon, it's actually based on the Japanese Baku, spirits that fed on people's nightmares. But what it loves most is the dreams of children. We don't know why, and don't want to either. In case Drowsy's powers weren't enough of an invasion of privacy, it also remembers every dream it's consumed, and shares them with those sleeping near them. How many pets can do that? Unquote.
That's a little disturbing, yes.
I all of a sudden I'm really glad I didn't read the description of half of these as I was playing. Actually, the next one is another one that I'm familiar with from the early games, the Grimer.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
The toxic
Quote,
sludge one.
Yeah, quote, type poison. It's disgusting enough that Grimer spends his time in polluted water, feasting on pollution and sewage to survive. But get this Pokemon moving through the world and it will never be the same. Literally. Anytime Grimer passes over the ground, its toxic slime or grime renders the earth incapable of ever again supporting life. If that wasn't hellish enough, the slime also sprouts new Grimers to continue the catastrophe. It's not all bad, though. Once Grimer evolves into muck, it gets bigger and more poisonous, capable of rendering an entire lake toxic with a single drop, and infecting any human being if it desires. Why was a Pokemon this dangerous and unattractive created in the first place? Who knows? Maybe the developers thought Mother Nature should be terrorized as an actual people, unquote. What the fuck, dude? The next one is another early one I owned and played. The Paris. Remember the one with the crab and the 2 mushrooms on its back?
Right, yeah.
Right.
Quote, type bug grass. While Parrot's symbiotic relationship with the mushrooms on its back isn't exactly normal, it's beneficial for both. Parrot feeds the mushrooms with its body, and the fungus provides an additional means of defense. Exactly how much the mushrooms can exert over the Pokemon isn't clear, but odd goes to disturbing when Paris evolves into Parasect. It's hard to say what change takes place at level 24, but for some reason the mushrooms take their chance and merge into a single organism, taking over the Paris in the process. With heightened aggression and a pair of zombified milky eyes, anything cute or endearing about Paris is replaced by a demonic drone known as Parasect, unquote.
Disturbing.
I assume that the developers are just drunk on sake every time they sit down to make one of these things.
I think they've watched or read entirely too many ghost stories.
Yeah.
Or played too much Fatal Frame. Next on this list is something I'm not familiar with. Anyone know what a Drifloon is?
Nope.
Okay, well, we're all in new territory. Quote, ghost flying type. How scary can a Pokemon based on a floating balloon be? Sure, it's got a pair of tiny hands, but what devious use could such a lighthearted creature have for them? According to the Pokedex, they're used to steal children away, with the Japanese version clarifying that Drifloon is taking children to see the world of the dead. Were the developers given a bonus every time they created a Pokemon that would make parents uncomfortable? The good news is that Drifloon doesn't remain a purple, harmless-looking balloon with an interest in kidnapping children. At level 28, Drifloon evolves into Drifblim, trading its spindly arms for 4 stronger ones, and its eyes turn red. Sleep tight, kitties, unquote.
Yeah, that's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, there's only 3 more. And the next one actually made it onto the list from Dorkly from the creepiest Pokemon. The Yamask. Quote, type Ghost. As proof that not every Pokemon has a complicated or inspired name, we give you Yamask. It's a ghost holding a mask. We don't mean that this Pokemon is a ghost type. It's an actual ghost of a human being who's died. The mask it carries is a representation of the one it used to have while living. That bit of character history creeps us out for obvious reasons. But the developers went into even greater depth. Besides occasionally staring at the mask and breaking into tears, Yamask has an even more sinister side. Since the mask itself carries traces of Yamask's human identity, someone wearing it will allow the Pokemon to possess them. To what end? Who knows? If trends hold true, though, we put our money on kidnapping children. Once it evolves into Cofagrius, this Pokemon uses its sarcophagus body to lure in humans and Pokemon and turn them into zombified mummies, unquote.
You know, a part of me goes, okay, it's animal cruelty. You're wandering out into the wild, you're beating the hell out of monsters, and then capturing them in a little ball and never letting them out except to fight in gladiatorial battles. But at the same time, I think these descriptions are made to make you feel a lot less guilty about doing just that, because essentially you're saving the world every time you take one of these things out of production.
Right.
I'm reading this going, you're letting 10-year-olds run around capturing lethal ghost kidnappers.
Well, apparently they're the perfect bait.
Insane? I guess that's true. Thankfully, there's only 2 more. I say thankfully because not because this isn't entertaining, but just because this is really fucking weird. Do you know what a Bennett is?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Type ghost. There's no need to explain why Bennett gives us the willies, since the most apt description of this creature is a doll-like Pokemon that is possessed with pure hatred. You see, Bennett wasn't always a Pokemon, but a doll that was driven into being by the hatred it felt towards the child that abandoned it. It's already the stuff of nightmares, but the creators went farther, making Bennett poke itself with its needles to generate energy for its attacks. And even sporting a zipper in place of a mouth. But what makes Bennett even more disturbing is that it evolves from Shuppet, a fairly adorable little ball of gray that is drawn to people's feelings of envy. We guess it's poetic that evolving lets Shuppet turn that envy into action, but a zipper mouse? Do they know kids play these games? Unquote.
So, Toy Story is the start of that thing?
I guess you could almost say it's a coincidence that Annabelle opened this weekend. The last one is one I never expected because it stays cute through the game, and I played the first one, a Cubone. Quote, type, ground. From first glance, Cubone is about as cool as a pet could possibly be. Essentially a dinosaur, Cubone walks on his hind legs, swings a bone club, and wears a skull over its face, peeking out from under it like a little kid trying to appear as tough for his friends. But in the vast expanse of Pokemon, Cubone might just be the most disturbed of them all. You see, that skull isn't just part of a Halloween costume or a trinket Cubone discovered while navigating a Looney Tunes desert. It belongs to its mother. Apparently, it wasn't enough for Cubone to simply cry in the night for its lost mother, and a more literal connection was needed. We're not going to ask how Cubone actually acquired the skull of his mother, but things get creepier when it evolves into Marowak. No longer simple ornamentation, the skull fuses itself to the Pokemon upon evolution, meaning this creature is permanently attached to its mother in a way Norman Bates would envy, unquote. They actually had a conclusion they added to this list. Quote, we'll let those keep you up at night. And be sure to remember that the next time you stumble across a Pokemon that at first looks adorable, beware, that little fuzzy creature may have a twisted origin story of its own. Which of the facts on our list do you find the most disturbing? Have we rounded up to 10 creepiest, or are there a few oddities you wish to add to the list? Will Game Freak talk their own disturbing track record with Pokemon X or Pokemon Y? We'll have to wait and see, unquote. This is... Man, I am now feeling guilty that I ever played the games, frankly. There's some weirdness out there. The last what the fuck story I have is a very positive what the fuck, because I had to sit there and say, what the blue fuck. You guys all watch Gravity Falls, right?
No.
No?
Okay. It's a cartoon on Disney XD. It's kind of one of those middling things that's just odd for the sake of being odd.
Okay.
One of the characters in there have a pet pig named Waddles.
Uh-huh.
Okay. According to this week's episode, the one that just passed this weekend is debuting, one of the characters, Dipper, tried to get into some special goo that was supposed to make him feel smarter after eating it. The pig got into it instead. And the thing that makes this a what the fuck was not necessarily that the pig became smart. This sounds like general cartoon trope or at least an episode of The Family Guy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What makes it special is the voice that comes out of this pig.
Which voice? Who?
I sent you the link.
I feel smarter already. The digits of pi.
Yeah, it starts with Dipper and his sister.
415-926, etc.
What? Who said that? Mabel?
Dipper, look!
See the pig on the cart?
Yep.
Greetings, friends. It is I, Waddles.
You recognize that voice?
What? Waddles, what happened to you?
Oh! It's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I understand.
Yep.
Transformation may be vexing.
The world's most renowned astrophysicist is a pig.
Forgive me. My pig arms are cute and useless.
That's funny.
You ate it and built all this, didn't you?
I appreciate the fact that this guy has enough self-confidence to not care about being in a cartoon and playing a pig.
He probably thinks it's great fun.
Well, I hear that this show's among the people that actually enjoy the show. It's rather good, I guess. I don't know. I hear a lot of things about the show. Like it's for like
it's a well-written show. It's
yes.
kind of snappy, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't spend too much time taking itself seriously in any format, so it makes it fun. So yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a pig.
That cannot be taken out of context.
Who said I didn't try? So our project this week was to try and rename characters who probably have some of the worst hero or the worst names of all time, frankly. There are so many out there that are just plain awful. It's like how we talked about how the Crime Syndicate. I don't know why they're still called the Crime Syndicate. No, from where they're from, they don't do petty crimes. The Crime Syndicate makes it sound like they're laughing as they're running out of a bank with a sack of money. They don't sound like the overlords that they are in their universe.
No, just take the crime out and call them the Syndicate. That would have been just fine.
You think so? But I have a few examples here, and I would like your help to try and sort this out and see if we can figure out what else to call these guys.
Okay.
One of the top ones on my list here is a Marvel hero, a speedster. His moniker is the Wizard.
Yeah.
Wizard?
Seriously?
No, the Wizard.
No, not Wizard. The Wizard. Like the sound he makes when he runs. Whiz!
Oh, wow.
Or the sound that people sometimes make when they're standing in front of a toilet.
That's special.
Why would you... Oh, God. This would have to come out of the 70s. No, I'm sorry. He came out in 1941. That explains more. What would you call a character... There's so many names for a potential super speeder beyond the Wizard.
What color's his What color's his costume?
Yeah, what's he like?
Well, his name is the Wizard, so as you can imagine, it's kind of a high yellow.
Is it actually?
I'm not kidding.
Ew.
I don't know.
Well, I'll send you guys the image because oh, fuck. I can't say better than fuck.
Oh my God, does this
I'm
character
sorry,
have,
we
like, a
need
sense
to
of...
just rework this guy top to bottom.
He was made in 1941 as part of a team with a couple other characters like Miss America.
Yeah, that's not open to interpretation either.
Yeah, I don't even...
This guy would need a lot of help. You know what? That's a good thing to call this clip. We should call it the PR team. How are we going to repackage you into something better?
One,
about...
drop... try something other than yellow.
That's an awful lot of yellow.
What's your suggestion, V?
Call him, like, Sunbeam or something like that. I don't know, it's yellow.
I know.
I don't know what to do with this.
Well, you could go a little more sports themed and call him Fast Break. Doesn't roll off the tongue though.
What powers does he have other than super speed? Is anything?
Never really been defined much beyond super speed.
I think
Probably
this character just needs to put on a red shirt and beam down with Kirk.
We can call him Speedy. Oh wait, no.
Nope, name's already taken. And he's having a super speeder.
I know.
This would almost be as bad as him having a flesh color suit and calling him Thrust.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. We could put him in that.
Let's do that.
Oh, what was his name? And he wore the human bodysuit.
I have no idea.
What was his
you
name?
Mean that, you mean that Richard Simmons suit guy?
Yes, put him in a Richard Simmons suit and call him Thrust. That would be fucking awesome.
Let's do it.
I'm coming to save the day, one entrance at a time. The name Thrust is actually pretty good. It's just I couldn't, this outfit would have to be burned.
It's already, if it's going to be vaguely referential of a bodily function, it should at least be a sexier one.
I don't know. If you put the T on him, the T is kind of the right shape.
Oh man,
yeah, totally works.
Jeremy, remember, you're the one that brought this up.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you named him the Wizard, and you made him piss yellow. Not helping. I don't know what the little wings represent, but yeah, no.
Okay, I have one for you that definitely needs help. He's in this weird green and yellow outfit. He's from the Legion of Superheroes, which unfortunately has a lot of bad names in it. His name is Matter Eater Lad.
Matter Eater Lad?
That is his actual superhero name, Matter Eater Lad. He has the power to eat anything. In other words, bite, chew, chew, bite, chew, chew. I mean, if he was created in 2010, his name would be Om Nom Nom.
Well, it sounds like he just has a case of pica.
Except he actually digests it.
We call him
Pica
Munchie.
Man?
Actually, Pica is a short version of that. Wouldn't be that bad of a name. It would definitely explain things very quickly.
Well, it's definitely a sidekick power, so Munchie would work.
Yeah.
Munchie would work, yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, we
Munchie.
call him Munchie. Say, where's your weed?
It's like that bad 80s movie, The Munchies.
He's teamed up with Fat Man and Munchie. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, I have one here that needs a tremendous amount of help. I'm going to send you the picture because it defies description.
Did I just read that right? Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Okay, so you see this black and red clad man, and no, we're not talking Deadpool. He has this gigantic cannon between his legs, and when I say cannon, I mean literally this what appears to be 6-inch cannon jutting out of his crotch there.
There's
His
no way to
villain
make this
name-
sound right, man.
Yeah, his villain name is Codpiece.
I don't know what needs to be done. It's perfectly descriptive.
Yeah.
This
It
one
tells
actually
you
makes
what's up.
sense. I mean, you know what? Unless we want to give him a
sturdy,
new
but-
power.
You might want to mount that thing a little higher, though.
But
Yeah.
that would be redesigning his power.
This is almost as ridiculous to me as the gear on Attack on Titan, because every time could you imagine what his hips are going to be like in a couple of years? He's going to be arthritic beyond belief. He's going to need
What
a
are
walker.
his hips like now? I imagine that he's wearing those knee pads to keep him from sliding across the ground when he fires this thing. Gives new meaning to the word facial, but I mean...
Activate this thing. Is there a button on his chest, or do you think every time he pushes his hips forward, it goes off?
It looks like he's hitting a button on his chest, but...
Dude, this is the perfect guy to team up with Thrust.
Yeah.
Thrust and his sidekick Codpiece. Or would it be the other way around?
Other way around.
I think the other way around, because all of a sudden I see the title of a new book, Codpiece and the Thrust.
Yeah. and he catches the ammunition that the Thrust expends.
Oh, no.
No, the Codpiece expends. Yeah, there we go. The guy has to use super speed.
I love it.
Oh, God.
Okay, here's one that's redeemable, but probably needs help. You have someone very small attacking a man who's making face like he just tried to eat out Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
The name of this diminutive hero is Doll Man.
Gall Man?
Doll
Man with a D. In other words, there's nothing really intimidating from top to bottom. You know, oh my God, it's the Doll Man.
Well, I mean, considering the use of shadows, the man could be naked except for wearing a cape, so that could be why he is making that expression.
Actually, the way he's running, maybe he didn't punch it. Maybe he just whipped out his dick and snapped it.
We could call him Shroom.
Is that because he just used his cap as a weapon?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know this character was made like back in Feature Comics in 1939, but I almost want to say Short Stack.
What does his powers consist of?
I am actually not familiar with Doll Man.
It's not.
He's a current. Because he was the comics were bought out. He's actually a DC property now. I don't know why. I don't know what you do with him. Let me see.
Take him out of print.
According to Wikipedia, Dollman can shrink to a height of 6 inches and a proportional weight, or return to his normal size and weight. At 6-inch height, Dollman retains the strength of a normal-sized man, and he is a superb athlete and hand-to-hand combatant. In recent years, Dollman has developed psionic powers, enabling him to levitate objects or destroy them with a mental blast. Dollman has apparently aged little or not at all over the decades, perhaps due to the mystic presence of Uncle Sam in the Freedom Fighters. Dollman wears a special costume that changes sizes as he does.
I'm getting given the name and the description he just gave, I'm getting a creepy doll vibe from him.
I don't know. Maybe we could call him Thrust.
Porcelain Man?
Kung Fu Grip.
Action figure.
Action Man. There we go.
No, name's already been taken, actually.
Yeah, there's another Action Man, unfortunately.
So what? It's not in the same series.
Pixie?
Action Dude.
Pixie's not bad. How about Mint in Box?
NRFB.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but this weird one-piece blue unitard thing, I'm so glad they took that out of continuity.
Okay, so maybe we should just give him a Pokemon name. So
he's a new Keyphone?
No. The one with the psychic powers that was like a little doll. And we could totally call him that.
Oh, that. Holy shit, I don't want to go back to that list.
or I don't know. We could just name him Chucky.
Pipsqueak?
Pipsqueak.
Oh, I like that.
That was actually
like
kind
that.
of amusing.
That's good.
Good.
Still horrible, but what are you going to do?
He can at least be funnier.
Oh, that's true. At least be entertaining about it instead of creepy dude with cape. Actually, I got one that's modern, but definitely needs an upgrade as far as his overall image. Mr. Fantastic.
Oh.
I mean, what the frick, dude? I mean, I know it was like the 60s when he was created, but your name can't just be Mr. Fantastic. Sounds like he's spending the rest of your life looking like Brad Pitt.
It sounds like he's trying to tell everyone to call him that. And everybody's like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Probably. So what will we call this arrogant prick?
Mr. Prick?
Drop the code name and go with his real name. I mean, everyone else goes with their real name now.
Reed Richards?
Yeah, it isn't like he's has a secret identity or anything, so... What's he gotta hide?
So what do you want to do? Put on a fedora and a whip?
What does Mr. Fantastic do?
Elastic, stretchy powers.
Yeah. Elastic body. And an amazing ability to be off-putting to his own family.
What about Rubber Richards?
That sounds a bit dirty, actually.
So you want to call him Plastic Dick?
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, Mr. Fantastic and Rubber Richards is kind of Moss or Manos at that point. Come on. Give her credit. It's just the same end of the pool. That's all. Wow.
I like Rubber Richards.
It's good, actually. There's all kinds of stretch jokes in there. Wouldn't that be bad if he just showed up one day with a new costume and called himself Stretch Armstrong?
Actually, Stretch is good.
That's a nickname he already has from the Thing.
Well, actually, she's right. That would probably make a better superhero name than Mr. Fantastic, though. Just call him Stretch.
Yeah.
Easy to say, easy to remember. You know, it has all the sexual connotations without being as stupid as Mr. Fantastic. It's not bad. You see, actually, on that vein, the Human Torch is not the greatest name either. I know it has a lot of nostalgia factor and everything, but it's a little too on the nose,
Just
isn't it?
Torch would work.
Probably. The Human Torch makes it sound like he needs hepatitis cream. You know, simplifying it to Torch would probably be better. Let's see. What else do I have on a list here? Okay. Okay, I have a Marvel one here that I am not familiar with, but needs all kinds of help.
All right.
Okay.
This lady looked like a weak version of Dr. Doom or Dr. Bong, frankly.
She reminds me of, he was a...
What, Baron Zemo?
Yes.
Okay. Well, she was created back in 1947 in Human Torch Comics 27, which means she's an enemy of the original Human Torch. Her name is the Asbestos Lady.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Isn't it?
Why can't you just call her the Exterminator or... I don't know.
What was asbestos
something.
used for at the time?
It's
it
a
was
flame
a
retardant.
fire retardant. Yeah, it's a flame retardant that it was put in all kinds of constructs, including buildings, so if they caught fire, they wouldn't collapse. But considering asbestos has been known to give you all kinds of respiratory issues and possible cancer, in this day and age, it'd almost be better just to call her asbestos.
Fire cancer?
That's a hell of an image. Can you imagine some guy sitting in the doctor's office, all of a sudden he starts, so what's the problem? He starts speaking, all of a sudden smoke pours out of his mouth. Doc, I think I have fire cancer.
So I'm assuming she uses flames as a weapon because she's immune to heat.
Actually, I think she's using guns as weapons there.
Yeah.
If she's a Human Torch enemy, then you can bet that flame probably isn't hers.
Yeah, that's true.
According to an article I see here, poor unfortunate scientist Victoria Murdoch made a suit out of it, meaning asbestos, which meant that she was flame retardant, which meant that she was pretty much immune to the Human Torch, unless you count that time when he melted her boobs to the asphalt, it says. Holy shit.
I thought you said melted her boobs to the asphalt, and I was like, wait, what?
That's precisely what I said.
Oh my.
Boobs.
Wow.
He melted her tits to the asphalt.
Yes.
Wow.
That sounds really brutal.
Boots. I was assuming boots.
No.
Wow.
Boobs.
And they did this when? This was a character back in when?
The 1940s. 1947 was when she was created.
Fuck. Okay, I have to give these people a lot more credit for being open-minded.
That sounds like that Billy Crystal Robin Williams movie. Oh my god, what are you going to do next?
Well, they wouldn't be able to do that now because people would yell about violence towards women or something.
And Comic Code Authority wasn't in play back then.
Wow, it's just weird. It's hard to think of a better name than asbestos. That's not bad, but it's just, wow. I'm trying to get over that image of tits melting to asphalt.
I don't know. The first thing that came to my mind when you described her was like snuff for some reason.
Considering tits to asphalt, yeah, snuff would actually be fitting considering where this lady's been. I don't know. I'd almost prefer extinguisher, frankly.
I like that.
Definitely need a suit that's not made of asbestos, at least.
I'm trying to think of, flame retardant related things, and I can't think of anything.
That's
Wet
a bad
blanket?
way to think of a name.
Wet blanket? Sounds like a villain of Ace and Gary.
You need to
by the
enhance
way.
her backstory and make her a librarian and
Yeah. Dude, that would be awesome. I'm going to make a villain somewhere or a hero that does that.
it's named Wet Blanket. That would be awesome. I would totally dig that character.
City of Titans is going to open up, and we're going to be staying around. There's the Megas. There's Bodak. There's Clam Dance. What the fuck is a wet blanket?
No. Steve's gonna make Grand Cashier.
Yes. For my villain, it will be Grand Cashier. Well, I don't know. I'll have to bring Bodak back in some form or manner, but he's not going to be available right away since he was a mastermind.
Well, here's one that definitely needs help with image.
Bouncing boy.
Oh yes, the bouncing boy.
I don't know. It kind of is up there with Speedball.
Well, the name, when you see the character, you understand why that's not exactly one you want to go with.
I don't know. Does he team up with his mom?
No, he's
her
a
bouncing
legionnaire.
baby boy?
He's from the Legion of Superheroes, which means this is the name they gave him. The bouncing boy.
Well, that probably is a good descriptor.
It's a good descriptor, but couldn't you think of something a little less...
Boring?
Yes. I mean, Rebound sounds like it'd be a better name.
I like that.
What did you say, Steve?
Cold balls?
Hey, some people earn their name by being pathetic, okay?
I'm just saying. Call him Bling. He's got that necklace. And that belt buckle. That huge belt buckle.
Look at it this
What
way. At least
sounds do you make when you're bouncing?
Boing.
In the case of humans, usually splat.
Boing.
Oh God, fuck my knees.
Call it boing.
Actually, I was just thinking you could go further with sports, but it'd be bad to call this guy rim shot.
I like that.
Rim shot in the wet blanket. Oh, this is painful.
Yes.
This is enjoyable pain, though. Oh, jeez. Okay, this... Oh, fuck. I don't even know where to go with this. I'm sending you guys another image of something that needs help. There was a classic Marvel villain called Stiltman. He was a guy who just had a pair of robotic legs, that extended.
Oh, wow.
Somehow a woman he knew after he died got his armor, and all she calls herself is Lady Stiltman.
Some sort of mantis reference, maybe?
No, it's stilts. It's literally extending legs.
I could definitely see it, mantis.
Yeah, I mean, they have crazy long legs is where I was going with that.
Oh, okay, so that's your suggestion for what to do with this thing.
Yes.
That's not bad. You could also call her Stiletto, I guess.
Stiletto would work.
That works. I like that.
Those heels make her look taller, after all. This... Oh, my God. I don't know if it's bad art or if... I know the costume in comics has typically been very gray. It's been very plain. In this case, she looks like she has fire cancer, frankly. Oh, my God. Somebody offered up as a list of a terrible character named Squirrel Girl. I don't know. I think that one's kind of on the nose.
Well, I thought about that. I kind of think that's terrible, but...
I thought about it too, actually.
I did. The only two I was thinking about were Squirrel Girl and Aquaman.
Aquaman's grown on me, but that's because the character's grown on me.
Yeah. Well, the name is still kind of boring.
How about a DC character that twice now has tried revitalizations and has never quite gotten through? Do you think we can rename Vibe?
No.
No, it sucks. Let's move on.
Get back to you on that one.
Well, we couldn't come up with something better than Vibe, like Reverb or something? Actually, you could continue the dance motif. In current comics, he'd be dubstep.
Actually, that's...
I was thinking that, to be honest.
That would be kind of on the nose because he uses powers. It probably sounds like dubstep coming out of his hands.
Yeah, but given that name, you expect this guy to have some gigantic waffle stompers.
He has breakdance pants and bad 80s sunglasses. I think he'd get a step up. You could even really play it up and give him rave gloves with the light up fingertips. Oh my God, you're getting high off my hands. Somebody offered up Jubilee.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that name.
I don't have a problem with that.
I guess it's not technically much of a superhero name since it's just her first name.
Yeah.
Well, it is her first name, but it's also kind of fitting of her powers.
Yeah. I guess we should be glad nobody called her Sparkler or something weird like that.
Dazzler.
Hey!
Already taken.
I know. I just think it's a silly name.
It was the 70s. I don't know what you want. Not only that, Dazzler was made as a promotional hero. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, so, some third-party company paid Marvel to create a new superhero based on disco, and Dazzler's what they came up with.
Yeah.
It just turns out that about the time they were ready to roll it out and they started putting out the first issues of the comics, that's about the time disco died.
Oops.
Hey, at least Marvel's getting something out of it instead of just, crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the only thing I could think of to call Jubilee would be something I think another hero or villain is called, and that's Radiance. I have a feeling it's the name of another hero already out there.
I haven't heard of it, but,
Oh, there is a character called Radiance, the granddaughter of the Golden Girl. One of the top heroes of Japan.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so we can kill that one. No, never mind. I don't quite know how to bounce back on Jubilee.
I had a couple ones from Marvel, and one being Red Hulk.
Oh God, yeah, that's an awful name.
Red Hulk and She-Hulk.
Well, the thing is, though, I read one story online that I kind of agreed with. I mean, the Red Hulk is Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
So why not just call him Thunderbolt?
I like that. Sure.
Well, well, they didn't want to do it because didn't he fake his own death? So that's why we can't even do that.
Yeah, but the guy's a former Avenger now. The Red Hulk's been redeemed. So why not come out and make it proud? Show everybody who you are and just call yourself the Thunderbolt. You don't want to be known as the Green Monster or the Red Monster. Knock off of the Green Monster, Just come out and do it.
Yeah.
What else have you got?
She-Hulk.
I
felt...
That's I'm sorry, I'm just thinking that's a rough one to kind of rebrand.
I know. I mean, she's well established and popular enough, but I feel that the name's just...
Well, I mean, She-Hulk is much better than Jolly Green Giantess.
I don't know. I did think of one, but it was one... It doesn't even describe her powers, and two, maybe over-sexualize her.
What's that?
Bombshell.
I kind of like that.
That's not bad. DC has a character pre-52 that had that name, though. She was an offshoot of Captain Atom.
Actually, I did have my own list of things. I wish I put my laptop out, but there's a DC villain called Metallo.
Oh God, yeah, that's awful. You'd almost expect you have Metallica playing constantly in the back end of him. There's got to be a better name than Metallo. But what would you call it? Cyber Death?
I don't know. I mean,
Metallo is a guy whose brain is put in a robotic body with a heart of kryptonite.
As a power source.
Yeah. V, you're better at this than most of us. What have you got?
Metallo. What is he like? What does he do?
He hates Superman and tries to kill him.
And I believe he's also a mercenary on pre-52.
He's like powered by kryptonite or something.
That and his body also has no sense of touch to it.
Otherwise, kind of imagine a hodgepodge of RoboCop and Terminator.
Well,
we could call him Steel. Oh wait.
Oh no, that's on my list too. He's on my list too.
What about Steel Skin or Steel Heart or something like that?
Steel Skin's not bad.
Call him the Tin Man.
That actually
Tin Man could work.
The Steel Man would almost be a better name than Metallo.
Yeah, no.
I said almost. I didn't say nailed it.
Girder.
That's actually someone else's name in DC.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. The Iron Cross. I
like that. Kind of.
You expect him to be German at that point, then.
Wouldn't have to be. After all, we don't want to be racist. We'll just call him the Iron Cross.
Speaking of which, I think Magneto should be renamed Holocaust.
Would, except Marvel has a Holocaust.
I don't care. He is much more deserving of the name.
Been reading that or what?
No, I have always hated Magneto. It's such a ridiculous sounding name.
It doesn't sound threatening, does it?
No.
Especially
and I really think just with his background and his ideology and his goals for humanity, Holocaust would have fit.
Probably. Maybe back in the 60s it was a little too soon.
Probably, but yeah.
Yeah. I got an awful.
Go ahead.
I got an awful one here, and this is one that would need help from top to bottom. You guys ever heard of the Black Condor?
Is he about as good as Black Vulcan?
Dude, Black Vulcan would wipe the floor with this dude. Open the URL and see what I'm talking about.
Oh God! What the hell's that?
That's a guy wearing a female's costume.
Oh, come on, dude. No female would wear that. It has no shirt. Unless you want more females to wear this kind of costume. Is that what you're saying?
Hell yeah. No. I've never been a big fan of people whose only power is flight.
Yeah.
The only one I've ever seen and liked is a guy who died in the same issue he came out, and that's Icarus.
See, I don't even remember him.
The Top Cow Icarus. He was a member of Strike Force for an issue before he died.
Well, didn't he carry guns?
Yes, he did.
All right. I don't know.
I don't.
Like I said, this guy was
apparently this guy carries guns too. He's whipping out some kind of futuristic pistol-looking thing. Well, their version of futuristic, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I at first I thought it was like some kind of whip or something hanging there on the side of his spandex shorts or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like he has actual wings to fly, so maybe Slipstream?
Blue Comet? I don't know.
That's more preferable than Black Condor, that's for sure.
Well, I guess it would have to be Black Comet because I guess that's not supposed to be blue.
Well, no, unfortunately now we're talking Black Condor over and over again, and all I can hear is the theme of Condor Man.
Yeah, I know. That's the first thing. As soon as I heard Condor, I'm like, Condor Man!
This is hard.
I can't...
It's hard to concentrate with this Speedo staring straight at you like that.
Speedo Man.
At least he's wearing pants.
Kind of.
He's wearing tights.
Yeah, it's there.
With that kind of show he's putting on, maybe we should just call him In-Flight Movie. Raptor would be better.
Raptor would work.
Yeah.
You'd have to change his outfit top to bottom a lot.
Yeah. Make it much more reminiscent of a bird of prey or something.
The thing is, a condor is a carrion eater.
Yeah, it's a carrion bird.
Yeah.
Well, let's make it clear. There's been several versions of a lot of these characters. Some of them have improved costumes, but still, they still have names like Dollman and Black Condor and all this shit that just needs help.
What's your point?
I'm sure there are some people just yelling, well, they've already changed the costume. I'm sure they have, but I mean, a lot of them still don't change their names. And some of them, sometimes all it takes is a simple name change to make things better. It's like when Jesse called the Reverse Flash Rev, that... If they started calling that character Rev in comics, I would be sold. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would read that just to find out what this guy's about. Let's see. Are there any teams that have pathetic names?
I don't know. The one that I was rather disappointed in, it's always bugged the hell out of me.
Which?
The Shocker. He doesn't even shock people.
I know, and the Shocker has so many negative connotations these days. There's the handshake where you put your middle finger in their palm and freak them out. That's a Shocker.
Yeah, I mean, if he had the ability to electrocute people with his gloves, I could even say call him Joy Buzz or Buzzer or something like that. But no, he has no electrical powers whatsoever.
The Shocker is also a sexual move these days.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes. So you may want to, especially with that purple and yellow quilt design, I don't think you can call yourself Shocker anymore.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I was thinking about it, and supposedly he developed his power, his suit and everything so that he could better break into safes, because that's what he did.
Yeah, he's petty ante at best.
Okay, so I figured call him Breach.
That's pretty good.
I like that.
That's pretty good,
so
actually.
I got that off my chest. I feel a lot better now, because that's one that just always pissed me off, because I always got him and Electro confused, because it sounds like both of them should be electric-based characters, and then I'm sitting there going, no, this guy somehow generates shock waves of air that has nothing to. I mean, I guess I could see shockwaves and shocker that way, but at the same time, it's just that's not what comes to mind when somebody says the shocker. It's like, okay, it's something to do with electricity, not shockwaves of air.
Yeah.
Actually, I got one that could use a little bit of help. Costume is good, but the name is a little rough. Probably because of just the age of the character. The Black Panther.
Okay.
That's one of those characters that was designed by white people like during a culturally sensitive time.
I guess
there's got to be better names. I mean, the character is fine. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's well armed and everything.
Than Tony Stark.
So Catman.
What?
Thinking Catman.
Oh, he's on my list.
Okay. I wish you could see the middle finger I'm throwing right now.
I'm guessing Catman is a real thing.
Yes, the DC property.
He's actually a character from one of our favorite recent comic books that we've talked about. God, what? I mean, you don't want to be stupid and just call him Panther. You just like calling him Black.
What does he do?
He's a super scientist. He's a king of an island nation.
That is the only producer of vibranium, so they're extremely rich.
Yep.
What about just switching up the name of the creature, Black Lion, instead of...
No.
It's been...
I think it's the black more than the panther that...
Fair.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Being as Wakanda is a nation of...
I mean, I know the panther element plays into it because he's also an avatar of the panther god.
Right.
Like an African god. I mean, if it wasn't so racist sounding, I'd almost say Midnight would be a decent name.
Panthro.
Panthro.
No.
Double fuck you. Come on.
Well, you didn't say you wanted useful names. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I mean, come on. We could totally give him some nunchucks.
I'd rather just call him Idris Elba, dude. Come on.
I'm at a loss, personally.
There's got to be something better, but that may need revisiting at another time.
Yeah.
King Panther? His Majesty?
Yeah, I was thinking King Panther, but I don't know.
All right, let's see.
Purple Panther?
The Majestic.
The Majestic Purple Panther. Displays purple rain.
It's a royal color.
Yeah.
What would you call Superman? That name is so basic compared to what his powers actually are these days.
I don't know. It kind of sums things up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
That's one that's kind of worn well with time. Leaping and stuff like that, yeah, maybe not so much. Now, he's got super speed, flight, everything else.
Super would be something if his powers would keep him locked terrestrially, which he's not. It sounds like he's beyond super at this point by description.
I don't know. I'm thinking like some sun motif name.
Supernova?
How he absorbs
motif.
solar energy.
Supernova?
I kind of like that.
At this point, you might as well just call him Pinnacle.
Yeah, Pinnacle. Well, it kind of depends on what kind of pinnacle you're talking about. I mean, Batman would be actually pretty good as Pinnacle. Pinnacle of human everything.
I suppose that's true.
But
he's kind of beyond that. And no human can leap tall buildings in a single bound, no matter how much they exercise.
Have you met LeBron James? Let me see. Sun God stuff? Well, I don't want to call him Amaterasu. That might be awkward. And Horus is not exactly a good name in connotation or just saying that. What's your name? Horus? You bastard, slap.
Or Ra. But he's not Egyptian.
Like I said, this solar something, I don't know.
Sunstorm. Sunstorm is probably a. That sounds.
Actually, that's good. I mean, the only time I've ever heard Sunstorm applied is to a Transformer. So.
Yep, me too. And that's a crazier version of Starscream, I think.
Yeah. Actually, there is no Marvel or DC hero that I see off the top that's that's named Sunstorm, and that's actually pretty good. All the searches I come up with say Sunstorm is only a Transformers character.
Hooray!
Wow, you nailed it.
Awesome. How about this one, Absorbing Man, since he showed up in...
Oh, yeah, that's a name that may have struck fear about 3 decades ago, but nowadays it just sounds like, what are you made of, Bounty?
Why don't we just go with his, boxing nickname, the Crusher?
I like that.
I don't know. It seems like Crusher is the name that's given to half of the Marvel heroes and villains that used to be boxers or wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, Absorbing Man is a little blunt.
Well, I didn't say Absorbing Man is that great either. I wouldn't keep that name if I had
We
a
could call him
choice.
Metallo.
Didn't we just discard that name?
Yeah, but, this is for a
That's
different
why
character. It might be more appropriate
Yeah,
in this case.
He's sticking around, basically. I mean, Menagerie almost describes it, but that's not a name I'd want to say out loud either.
Well, not to mention the fact that's usually more for animals rather than...
There was a hero that had these powers in X-Men 2099 that had a better beat to it, and they called him Metalhead.
Yeah, but not quite that. I don't know. If I was really coming up with the name, I'd want something other than just metal, because that's not all he can do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad there's already a character named Mimic. That would be a decent one.
Or Legion. Yeah.
I'm thinking something revolving around the word material. I don't know why.
Well, we could call him the Onion. He's multi-layered. It's hard to think of in the spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
This has been entertaining, though, I will say that.
Yeah. Cringeworthy at some points, but entertaining.
I try.
Yeah. God, this is rough. Those powers are just difficult. I almost said, because of that ball and chain he carries around, I almost said Wrecker, but there's already a loser named Wrecker.
Isn't that an actual team?
No, the Wrecker is a villain that Loki created for Thor.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know. I forgot.
The Crowbar.
Yeah, the Crowbar.
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad name for Crusher Creel as Crowbar. It is more or less what he is. He's a blunt instrument.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a crowbar is very useful, though, in a number of situations. A hammer might be more appropriate.
So is he in a number of situations.
So is Creel. I mean,
Fair enough.
He has multiple uses.
Yeah, isn't like he just absorb in Agents we see him absorb different types of rocks, diamonds.
Well, I mean, what sounds more intimidating? You can call him Crowbar, or you can call him Toolbox.
Crowbar.
Yeah.
Any others anybody wants to throw out?
No.
Penguin.
I always liked that name.
Now, are we talking the comic version, which is kind of cool, or the Gotham version, which I want to kill?
I don't know.
Just call him King Penguin.
He did at one point.
There you go. I mean, just add a little bit of yellow and orange to the outfit, and done.
Actually, we could take this another step, because as intimidating as the character is now, you could say that's only through reputation, because I don't know anybody that would be scared of a young child coming forward calling himself Robin.
Yeah. But I thought that was his stage name.
It makes me think of Baby Birds, so yeah, no.
There's got to be a better name than that. I mean, Sparrow is more intimidating than a Robin. At least that sounds like something that's going to pierce you.
Yeah.
Well, it seems how many of them have changed their names and identities, except for the one.
You want Shaft to team up with Thrust in the wet blanket?
No, I think it's perfectly fine teaming up with Batman. I mean, come on. You could totally go with that, too. Just give him the shaft. Just like... It would work.
Oh, my God.
Get the hell out of my Sanctum Solarum. What were you saying, Jesse?
I don't know anymore.
I mean, they gave him a quarterstaff, too. So that would be his shaft, and then there you go.
Bruce Wayne took a decrease in the shaft.
That's a pretty good catchphrase.
Because unfortunately, considering my heritage, that gives me mixed messages. All I can see is this buffed up man giving this boy a quarterstaff. Then at other times, all I can see is this buffed up guy walking over to like Richard Roundtree trying to hand him a staff, and he shoots him.
Oh my.
Oh jeez. Oh wow! I gotta calm down. Okay, this has been entertaining.
We should do this again.
We're gonna need a whole new list of names, so.
Considering all the comic books, that's not gonna be too hard.
And when we're done with comic books, we can attack other things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Okay, I think we should end it right there. Actually, I got one that I wanted to... I had a thought for next week that I wanted to toss to you guys.
Uh-huh.
And it's relatively simple reading because as we've seen in the news, and that just came out this past Wednesday, comic books have hit the shift because we have a new Captain America and a new Thor.
Right.
I think we should check out both of those and try and give some opinions because a lot of people on the internet are just saying stop changing stuff just to make change. And you know, I think we should take a look and see if Marvel is changing things just for change, or if there's actual story ideas here.
Okay.
You know, does it seem like evolution, or does it seem like they're just trying to pull in minority readers? That make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, if it's bullshit, we got to figure it out now.
Yeah.
So what? We're reading new Cap and new Thor, right?
Captain America 25 and Thor #1.
Okay.
The current Thor #1. If you go back and find the 1960s issue, not only am I going to beat the shit out of you, I might steal it from you. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. I invite you guys to roll with us again next week. Have a great one. I am Jeremy.
Steve.
Jesse.
And V.
Thank you very much. My God, all I can think now is like Pika teaming up with Thrust in the White Blanket. And, you know, we have our own loser league.
And Panther coming out from the corner.
Dude, I have a new character to make whenever City of Titans finally comes out.
I totally want to see you make that character. Give her water powers.
Yeah. Water powers and like telekinesis or something.
You know, it's not very intimidating when all I can do is make you moist.